Post, American Legion Post here in Pontotoc. We're pleased to host this tournament. We tried to get a formal opening ceremonies in last night, and the rain kind of changed things. I want to say a word of welcome and thank you for being here. Continue to support this tournament. Some great players. We've seen some great games already. So keep coming back and being a part of it. Let me say a word of thanks to the ROTC from Oxford for being a part of the color guard presentation. They did a great job. Show your appreciation to them, please. Thank you. And I want to say a word of thanks to my Legion volunteers who have put things together, who are cooking and who are monitoring the tables and so forth. Special thanks to all the teams, special teams and coaches, especially our local team who prepared the field this morning and had mud in it about as deep as could be, just about. So we've got it ready. We're playing today. We're looking forward to some great games. Thanks to all the teams that participate. Thank you so much.
And that was Bill Wardlaw, sort of the commissioner of the tournament, if you will, commander of the Auxiliary Post 16 here in Pontotoc. So we get set for your game 3 of the tournament here. Adam Gore, Steve Whitten, and Ryan Whittington on hand here. This is a do-or-die situation here for Booneville. A loss and they're done for the tournament. Pontotoc, this would be their first game of the tournament here. And guys, Booneville did win that first game. I thought the loser advanced played, so correction on that, Steve. But guys, this should be a good game here with both these teams getting set here. We saw a great battle between these two teams earlier in the season where they split a decision. Booneville come back from a 7-run deficit to win by 3. Then Pontotoc came back from a 4-run deficit to win by 2 earlier in the season. So guys, we should be seeing a good baseball game here between these two teams.
Absolutely, and certainly with this pitching matchup today, like you said, Adam, going to be two great pitchers. Matt Davis going for the Booneville Braves and for the home team, and for the visiting team on their home field, the Pontotoc Red Sox, they will send Lee Payne to the mound to face the Booneville Braves. Like you said, they defeated the Hub City Bombers last night / today / 26-hour baseball game. 10-7 was their final score. They completed the last 5 outs this morning, probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then much to our dismay, they went ahead and started the second game around 11:30. Tupelo had the last laugh against the Amory Cardinals as they came back and from a 3-run deficit and defeated the Amory Cardinals on a walk-off home run by Philip Matthews in the bottom of the 10th inning. That was certainly an exciting game, an exciting end to a great game and a great pitching matchup. Final score in that one was 4-3. Great pitching performance in that one, Steve, and certainly going to be another one in this one.
There certainly was, and I think what we're going to see this afternoon is what I'm looking for is how this heat's going to affect everybody. You know, we were talking about it between the games. It's just not a hot heat. It's that oven heat, and it can just really zap you. And I think that's sort of the difference in the last game we watched between Tupelo and Amory. One side, Tupelo got an extra inning or so of their starting pitcher. And, you know, was that the difference? We know it's the home run, but you certainly want to get as much out of the starting pitchers as you can.
Yeah, Matt Cox went 8 complete innings for the Tupelo 49ers. Then he had Chris Stratton come behind him and throw 2 shutout innings of baseball. Got into a jam and worked himself out of it, so a great job by him. Leadoff batter Hunter Mize chops one over to Will Hawkins at third base. He's thrown out 5-3, so the Pontotoc Red Sox, 1 batter, 1 out on only 2 pitches. Got to be happy with that for Matt Davis, the starting pitcher for the Booneville Braves. That'll bring up the number 2 batter, Zach Chavers, also a local Pontotoc Warrior baseball player. This guy we've really seen mature over the last few years. He's hitting in the 2 spot. He's playing shortstop. We'll bring the starting lineups between innings. Following Chavers at the plate will be Daniel Tunnell, the third baseman. He will be followed by the cleanup batter, David Bowen.
Well, Matt Davis is a Tishomingo County native. He was all-area, was made the W07BN all-area baseball team as well. So, you know, he's got a good variety of pitches. He got off-speed. He can go fast. He can go slow. He can go breaking ball. So, you know, you're going to be guessing throughout the whole contest with Davis. And he was a large part of Tishomingo County's success, making a run towards the North State 4A crown.
Well, they certainly need a good outing from him. They had a great one from Chris Gullick yesterday. Gullick probably was one of those pitchers that was really affected by one of the 2 rain delays in yesterday's ball game. He came on after the rain delay, gave up 4 runs. They had to pull him, but he had a great performance, and these Booneville Braves are certainly looking for another one. There's a swinging bunt. Actually, they said he hit him as he got out of the batter's box. So
I think what actually happened whenever he slung the bat down, the bat hit the ball and may have bounced off of him.
2 outs in the inning for the Pontotoc Red Sox, and have a little dispute from
Nikki Browning on the sideline. Senator Browning, that is.
Yeah, from Coach Browning at third base, which situation like that, beginning of the game, you always got to dispute those, especially. That'll bring up Daniel Tunnel, third baseman for the Red Sox.
Good decisive call, though.
Daniel Tunnel out of New Albany. He's had an outstanding senior season for the Bulldogs, and he's had a pretty good summer as well. We've seen him deliver some long balls. Actually hit a walk-off home run to win that game, I believe, against Booneville in this second game. It's a 2-run shot, so I said it was a 2-run win. I think it was a 1-run win. Go back and check my notes on that.
That one stays away as Matt Davis has fallen behind Daniel Tunnel. He got 2 quick outs from both Hunter Mize and Zach Chavers. 2 down in the inning. Tunnel looking for something. That one stays high, so a 2-out walk issued to Daniel Tunnel. That'll bring up the designated hitter, David Bowen.
David, a South Pontotoc native, had a chance to talk with his mother before the game.
Here we go, 4-2.
David going to be one of the top players to keep an eye on next season. Electing not to play football, concentrate solely on baseball.
Davis's first pitch, curveball over for strike 1. Getting ahead of the batter, David Bowen, cleanup batter. 2 down in the inning. Runner at first base is Daniel Tunnel. Bowen were to reach, he would be followed by Jake Mills, first baseman for the Red Sox. The 0-1 coming, curveball, same pitch, right over the heart of the plate, 0-2.
He's got that curveball working nasty.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I like to see. Came right back with it.
Come on, David.
Catcher sets up way outside. Actually, that ball kind of tailed back in on him. A little bit too much for Wallace, the catcher, and his liking. Just the same, 1-2 the count.
He's got that outside corner with that curveball.
He does, and it seems like he's waited a couple batters before using it. So he goes with here. That one ripped down the line, past over the head of Will Hawkins at third base. Great piece of hitting right there by David Bowen. So he will be 1 for 1. Now runners at first and second base. Already a runner in scoring position for the Pontotoc Red Sox here in the top of the first inning, and that'll bring up Jake Mills.
Yeah, that pitch slid a little inside on him, and he just took it with it, took it down the third base side and over Hawkins' head. Good base hit.
Jake Mills, the batter, first baseman. Lefty facing the lefty pitcher. Now you've got that overhand breaking ball. Whenever you're facing a left-handed batter, you've got to learn to get that a little bit further across the plate. Didn't do it that time. Plunked him, so now the bases are loaded. That'll bring up Cody Roberts.
Yeah, he was throwing that like he was throwing it to a right-hander where it's going to drop in, and then that batter's just standing there where the drop is.
Well, I don't know very many people that had a better senior season than Cody Roberts did this past season for the Warriors, so big opportunity here early in the contest for Cody to come up big.
And certainly in the situation, you want to put some type of run on the board for your pitcher, Lee Payne. If you can get him a lead early, really like your chances. Once again, you got to remember that this Pontotoc team is well rested. They got a first-round bye from being the state champions last year. They're also playing at your home field, and this Booneville Braves team played in a game that went a little bit longer than they expected. Had to finish that one up this morning, so this Booneville Brave team, a little bit more depleted pitching staff, and they don't have as many guns to go to.
Yeah, but say about the only thing that Pontotoc players have done in the last. Actually, you know, they didn't even get to make up their games against Tupelo, so it's been since that Union County game since they've played. So, you know, they should be well rested. If anything, maybe a little rusty. About the only thing they've done is roll the tarp out last night.
They did that very efficiently, though, and almost had to do it twice. There's a ground ball down the third base line. Gets past Will Hawkins. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. RBI single by Cody Roberts down the third baseline. Great piece of hitting right there, Steve.
It's a great piece of hitting and great piece of base running, too. number 42, I think he was over there, all the way over there on second, making that decision, coming full bore to home plate.
Yeah,
No hesitation. So
he showed off that speed he's got too. He's a big guy, big kid. He plays catcher also, so he shows that even though he's bulked up a good bit, he's got good speed.
Well, now another power threat, and Ricky Ware. Curveball stays high and away.
Note to Matt Davis, don't hang up a curveball to Ricky Ware.
Absolutely, he will make you pay, and make you pay rather quickly. Ware, the number 7 batter for this Pontotoc Red Sox baseball team. He would be followed by Brock Foster if he were to reach, and then Landon Brister to round out the lineup for the Pontotoc Red Sox. The 0-1 coming. Swung on and missed. Ware took a healthy cut at that one. Guys, it really seemed that Matt Davis was rolling along pretty well the first 2 guys. He got 2 quick outs and then kind of ran into some problems, walked a guy, and then you had the single given up by David Bowen. You hit Jake Mills, and then you knew the writing was on the wall. There's a base hit through the 6-hole. They're going to send him around third base. He will score. Left fielder had some problems gathering up that one, so now Pontotoc Red Sox have taken an early 3-0 lead here in the top of the first.
See, I've always said I like that aggressive base running. I mean, he can burn you every once in a while, but that's also a way to rack up the score.
Yeah, well, Nicky almost slung his shoulder out that time. He was telling him to come around third. He didn't leave any doubt. It might have been an interesting play at the plate, but as Ryan said, he bobbled it out and left, so pretty much to be able to come home. So big start to the contest here for the Red Sox.
Yeah, we're having a quick meeting on the mound, and I got to agree with this meeting, as it's too early in the ballgame to be worrying about this, but in this situation, you've already given up 3 runs, especially after you get the first 2 guys in the inning. Certainly have to worry about the morale of your program right now, and your pitcher on the mound, because he's been putting it in places exactly where they need to be, just been hanging up just a little bit too high, and that's where he's been getting hurt.
Yeah, his placement's been fine. But you kind of tag somebody in there with that curveball, lefty against lefty, and it does kind of make you think twice. So maybe it's a little encouragement boost out there on the mound. Say everything's fine. We can get out of this. We need 1 out.
Well, guys, we were talking about how hot Amory was coming in this contest. Pontotoc's been swinging a hot bat. Their last 2 or 3 games have put up double-digit runs. So, they've been swinging the bat pretty well here of late, and so far so good here early in the contest for the Warriors.
Yeah, they're certainly showing it off. They're certainly showing it off right now, especially with Ricky Ware, David Bowen, and also Cody Roberts with an RBI single. Cody Roberts at second base, Ricky Ware at first. The batter is Brock Foster, the left fielder for the Red Sox. This is the number 8 batter for the Red Sox. Here in the top of the first inning, your score 3-0. Red Sox have jumped out to a big 3-0 lead on Matt Davis. Have a pitch count for you during the half inning. Also go through Booneville Braves starting lineup as well during the half inning. That pitch count's certainly starting to rack up, and like we already said, the Booneville Braves have already played in 1 game, as that fastball stays away, 2-0 the count.
Well, guys, you go back and look at it, what they play, inning basically today.
5 outs.
5 outs inning, so you got to wonder how that does play into effect, or even if it does play into effect here. It might have been just like previewed as a sort of a morning warm-up, if you will.
I'm sure it kind of hurts as well. I mean, you take all that time, especially in the morning, to warm up just for 5 outs of baseball, and you already had a 3-run lead. If you figure that your pitcher can get 3 outs, you're out of the ball game, and you're out rather quickly, and now he's issued Brock Foster a 4-pitch walk, so the bases are loaded once again, this time for Landon Brister, the number 9 batter for the Pontotoc Red Sox. Brister gets the call to play right field this afternoon.
Number 7's tight. I mean, I'm just going out on a limb here. Something's not quite right.
Well, he's got rattled early, so he's got to answer back pretty strong here.
Much better job of that curveball right there. The first 2 batters, he had thrown a first pitch curveball, kind of left it up, out over the plate, a little bit too high and outside. That one he got on top of. If you're going to miss with a curveball, you certainly don't want to miss in the dirt, especially with runners on base, but it shows that he's getting on top of the curveball, trying to locate it a little bit more effectively.
And y'all were talking about earlier the morning games, those half inning and half things. I always thought they hurt you. I mean, it's the up and down theory. You know, you get up, even if you take care of business, you've gotten up for that inning and a half. Now you're going to have to take yourself down for a while and then get yourself back up. So,
and certainly coming at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning.
So it knocks out some of that time they could have spent in their beds at home.
Yeah. I mean, they are kids, you know. I mean, laying around till noon.
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all.
Matt Davis came back with a fastball on the second pitch. Missed on that one. 2-1 the count to Landon Brister. Could see something to hit here. That one stays low. Good eye. 3-1, so he'll certainly see a pitch to hit. 3 runs have already been played by the Pontotoc Red Sox here in the top of the first. You got to come to him here, especially with the bases juiced. Davis is 3-1. Swung on, lifted, shallow center field. Center fielder comes in about 3 or 4 steps, makes the play. So the side is retired, but not before the Pontotoc Red Sox push 3 across the board as they send all 9 men to the plate. 3-0 your score. We head at the bottom of the first. We're going to go ahead and run down the starting lineup for the Booneville Braves, and we will give you the first inning line for Matt Davis of the Booneville Braves as he induces Landon Brister to fly out to center field. I have that pitch count for you in just a second. Batting first, leading it off for the Booneville Braves, will be number 6, Ben Wallace, playing second base. Batting second at first base, number 10, Drew Dobbs. Batting third, the third baseman, number 16, Will Hawkins. We saw him hit a grand slam in yesterday's game. Batting fourth, the left fielder, number 8, Sawyer Wheatley. Batting ninth, the catcher, number 24, Will Wallace. Batting sixth, number 19, the designated hitter, Chris Gullick, who also homered and pitched in yesterday's game. Batting seventh, Justin Jordan, the right fielder. Batting eighth, Clint Hodges in center field. Batting ninth will be Brett Grantham, the shortstop for the Booneville Braves. And on the mound for the Pontotoc Red Sox, as he will get set to face the Braves in the bottom of the first, Lee Payne, the left-handed pitcher from Oxford, Mississippi. We've seen Lee quite a bit with W07BN. With W07BN Sports. He was actually on the 2005 Oxford High School state championship team, as were there's a couple of Fayette Commodores on this Pontotoc Red Sox team that were there in 2006 when the Commodores took home the state trophy. But Lee Payne has certainly put in a lot of innings for the Oxford Chargers, and one of these guys is going to come with you with a great overhand curveball, also mix in a little bit different angles, and he's gotten that fastball up as well, and he does a great job of locating that pitch. So we'll see how he does in this game against the Booneville Braves.
Yeah, a lot like Matt Davis. He mixes things up really well to keep batters on their toes in this contest. For Lee's sake, I know Booneville would like to see him come out early and sort of struggle as Matt did, but for Lee's sake, he'd like to come out and have a little bit better outing here to start the contest.
Yeah, in a situation like this, and I'm sure Steve can talk a little bit about it, but after you get up to a 3-0 lead, put a crooked number on the board, your offense gets you that, you think, you know what I really need is a quick 3 up, 3 down, go ahead and get the bats back out on the field.
I would agree with that completely. Let's get our bats back out there ASAP.
Well,
that was close.
So that was a borderline pitch there, and he's getting it. He's got the breaking action working early here.
Payne's 1-1. Ricky Ware sets up outside, actually misses just a little bit in, and Wallace gets a piece of it. 1-2 the count. Ben Wallace, try to bring the stats from last night's game as much as possible. Ben Wallace in last night's game went 1 for 3 with a run scored, also hit by 2 pitches. So I'm sure after last night's game he went home and certainly had an ice-cold bath and probably had a lot of bruises. He was plunked a couple times on the afternoon by a couple different pitchers. The 1-2. Subs up outside. Good pitch on the outside part of the plate. Ben Wallace. Nice job of not offering it a good pitcher's pitch.
Well, guys, we talked about the heat affecting these pitchers earlier. What about the guys behind the plate? You're probably going to see these two teams possibly sub in.
Oh, sweet.
Sub in catchers during the game, but that right there, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head that time, Steve.
Man, that was just right.
That's a disgusting curveball that Lee Payne likes to come with, the 12-6er. So Ben Wallace down on strikes. That will now bring up Drew Dodds, number 2 batter, and first baseman for the Booneville Braves. This one fouled up, and we'll get into foul territory out of play. 0-1 the count on Drew Dodds.
Well, he was on top of it. He was looking for the breaking ball that time, just a little bit early on it.
Drew Dodds in yesterday's game officially 1 for 5 with a single, 2 RBIs. Sweeping breaking ball just misses the plate on the outside part. 1-1 the count.
Dodge showed that little running softball slap bunt a lot in yesterday and today's games.
He certainly did, and he really looks like one of those type players, especially from the left side, who you swing the bat, try to get out of the box as quick as possible and get that extra step over to first base. That one stays high and away, 3-1 the count.
Yeah, Ware like he did a pretty good frame job on that one, but the umpire was not fooled by it.
It was just a tad off the mark there.
That one stays low in the dirt for ball 4, so Lee Payne issues a 1-out walk, and now that will bring up Will Hawkins. And guys, this is something we saw yesterday. You don't want to leave anything hanging to this young man as he cranked one about 380 feet to left center field.
Well, that, and he hit a foul ball that I don't know it landed yet, that he sort of got ahead of in last night's contest. So, Will can hit for power in this situation, and especially in the hollow. It's not known for the fences being pushed back. It don't take much for a big guy like him to get one out of here.
Breaking ball stays high, and seems that we've seen a lot of breaking ball pitchers during these first 3 games. It always takes just a couple innings for these breaking ballers to get on top of their good stuff. Their fastball is usually effective, but like we said, if you're a breaking ball type pitcher, you have to establish that breaking ball early in the game. If you don't, it could get ugly early, and that's exactly what we saw in the game with Booneville and Hub City yesterday.
Yeah. They just never quite got their rhythm together on it.
Swung on, lifted, deep left field. Left fielder going back, looking up, and it's gone. Like we said, Will Hawkins can beat you with the long ball, as he does right there.
Nice hit. And I tell you what, just as a semi-commentary, you have to feel pretty good, not about only about the home run and putting 2 runs on the board, but coming through that first half inning with only 3 runs scored by Pontotoc with 6 man on bag.
Yeah.
I mean, they just bounced back in this ball game real quick. So they should be very happy at this point.
Yeah, once again, most of these games are played in 7-inning format during the regular season. Now we shift to 9 innings. So there's a lot of baseball to be played.
Yeah.
This is another guy you got to be careful with.
Certainly is, and Will Hawkins now 3 for 5 in this tournament series with 2 home runs, 3 runs scored, and 6 RBIs.
Off to a good start.
Lee Payne's first pitch to Sawyer Wheatley misses. The 1-0 swung on and missed. Wheatley took a very healthy cut at that one. Wheatley, like you said, Adam, one of those guys who can certainly put the ball out of the ballpark. Officially 0 for 3 in last night's game with a run scored. Swung on and missed. Nice breaking pitch right there by Lee Payne. And this is the type of power this Booneville Braves team has, especially after getting behind early. You thought it might take a little bit of wind out of their sails, but come right back, put a 2 spot on the board, and inning's not over yet, but Sawyer Wheatley goes back to the bench without taking the bat off his shoulder.
That's impressive by number 4. Come back, get the strikeout after the home run.
Yeah, that was, needless to say,
Quick
huge.
strikeout.
Will Wallace, the catcher for the Booneville Braves, steps in, the number 5 batter. He was 3 for 4 last night with an RBI, 3 singles. And Lee Payne quickly gets ahead 0-1, and that's something Lee Payne is doing now. He's getting ahead of batters as
Doinked him.
they need to appeal whether he offered at that pitch.
No appeal.
Actually, what they're probably going to say is hit him in.
It hit him.
It did hit him, but that's one of those things. As a catcher, you're always
You want
appealing down to first base any break you can get. That'll bring up Chris Gullick, who certainly showed the power in last night's game. Hit a 3-run home run, which put the Braves up for the time being. Also pitched a very solid game until a rain delay, which threw everybody off. This one put into foul territory and will get out of play.
Oh, no, that was top of the dugout. And say that that's towards where I was parked, so I didn't like the sound of that one.
It didn't sound good yet.
Ryan, did you move your vehicle?
Actually, I was blocked in, so there was no way.
Beautiful.
It's still in position.
Just one of those things, I guess. You got to roll with the punches no matter what.
Oh,
So it's my fault for parking there. Therefore, I should be blocked in. That one stays away. 1-1 the count.
Well, one good thing is we're here for the duration of the day. Browning is going to trot his way out to the mound. Like he might have pulled a hammy halfway out there. Not really sure what the discussion is about. It looked to be a little heated.
Well, he's probably giving him some special instructions. Like I said, these guys have seen each other this year and said, run out there now, don't give this guy a curveball, or don't serve him up that fastball. Or he might be telling him what you just said earlier. This guy cranked one out last night, so keep it low.
Chris Gullick has a 1-1 count on him from Lee Payne. Runner at first base is Will Wallace, who was hit by a pitch. Swung on and missed. Chris Gullick now down on the count 1-2. Be followed by Justin Jordan, the right fielder for the Booneville Braves. Two coming from the lefty Payne. Curveball, and I'll tell you what, that's one of the better pieces of hitting we've seen all afternoon. Chris Gullick, 2-2 count, knew exactly what was coming. He's seen that curveball come across. Whenever Lee Payne gets ahead of these batters from the strikeout pitch, just waited on it, fouled it off as best he could. The 2-2 coming from Lee Payne, swung on and missed. Nice pitch on the outside part of the plate. Gullick couldn't hold up, and Lee Payne comes back and strikes out Chris Gullick and Sawyer Wheatley after a 2-run home run by Will Hawkins. Your score 3-2, Pontotoc Red Sox on top of the Booneville Braves as we head to the top of the second inning. Welcome back to action here in the top of the second inning. Pontotoc Red Sox sent all 9 men to the plate against the Booneville Braves in the top of the first. They played at 3. Booneville Braves came back with a Will Hawkins 2-run home run in the bottom of the first inning. And that's how your score stands, 3-2. So you got your leadoff batter back to the top of the order, and Hunter Mize issued a first pitch strike from Matt Davis. This one stays away, 1-1 the count.
Like he's going to try to surprise him with a quick little bunt and drop down that time, but instead pull back on it.
Curveball stays low in the dirt for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Hunter Mize, his first time up, grounded out to the third baseman Will Hawkins 5-3. Only saw 2 pitches. He'll be followed by Zach Chavers and then Daniel Tunnel. The 2-1. That one stays high, 3-1. Good job by Hunter Mize to work the count to 3-1. Good hitters count here. And Steve, Matt Davis had a pretty tough first inning, but you gotta like it when your offense answers back, especially after you give up a 3 spot and put 2 more on the board.
Yeah, I mean, like I was mentioning between innings, they should be feel very good about what happened in that first inning. I mean, I don't know how many runners were actually on base for Pontotoc. I had 6 in my mind going, but 6 on, left 3 on at the end, and scored some runs. But to come back and be in this position after that, very thankful.
You got to pay attention to the guy on first right now. Hunter Mize got plenty of speed, and he'll steal a base on you in a heartbeat.
And so does the man at the plate. That's why Will Hawkins playing a little bit closer to the cut of the grass. You drop down a bunt right here, you could have 2 runners on base, and heart of this order coming up to the plate. Matt Davis throws a first pitch strike to Zach Chavers. Chavers in the first inning called out when threw the bat at the ball.
So what we get? Is that second strike, 1 strike, or 2 strikes? 2 strikes. Okay.
0-2 the count to Zach Chavers. Snap throw back over to first. Yeah, luckily for the Booneville Braves, you could probably say the same thing for the Pontotoc Red Sox. Both of these teams are starting lefties, so these runners are going to have to have good jumps and go in pitch counts that would be more inclined to throw the breaking ball, because these lefties are always hard to steal on.
You normally see one or maybe ever occasionally two players get picked off with some of the quick throws over from a lefty.
Oh,
There's a base hit through the gap. Hunter Mize round second. He's going to third. Zach Chavers chugging for second base. They're going to hold Hunter Mize at third base, and rightfully so. Great job right there, and Zach Chavers with a big double here in the top of the second inning. So now 2 runners in scoring position for the Pontotoc Red Sox, looking to add to their 3-2 lead. That'll bring up Daniel Tunnel.
Hey, that was a big hit right there, guys. Pontotoc coming out now, still keeping the bats warm. We talked about it being hot from the plate here of late, and unofficially 4 hits in the contest.
I believe that's right. Yes, sir. Tunnel takes a big cut at that one. Matt Davis gets ahead of Tunnel 0-1, and to tell you the truth, I really think that's the key for Matt Davis in a situation like this. He's been kind of fighting himself, it looks like, coming with first pitch fastball, first pitch curveball. I think he needs to stick to one thing, just make sure he gets a first pitch strike, gets ahead of these Pontotoc Red Sox batters. This one lifted into center field. It could be trouble. Center fielder comes on, it bounces past him. Left fielder has to come on and back him up. The run trying to score from third base. He gets down. 2 runs score on the play. Great piece of hitting right there, and that's always in no man's land. Not sure if you just back up off that baseball. You've already allowed 1 run is going to score.
Yep.
You'd be down by 2 runs. A situation like that, you just kind of got to back off and say, you know what, let's get the guy at second base, hit the cutoff man. However, 2 runs score. Your score now 5-2. Still nobody out in the inning and a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, one of those darned if you do, darned if you don't situations there. If you make the play, everybody's screaming for you. If you miss it like you did, you're second guessing the guy. So, like you said, no man's land right there. You just got to make your decision and hope for the best.
David Bowen, the batter. There's a base hit through the 6-hole. They will hold the runner at third base, so now runners at first and third, and man, this thing just unraveling right now for the Booneville Braves.
Well, number 7's actually getting the type of hits he wants. I mean, he don't want any hits.
Just putting them in the hole.
They're just putting them where they ain't. Of course, that's the old baseball slogan: hit them where they ain't, and that's what's happening. So, I mean, he's keeping them on the ground, relatively speaking. He's keeping them in front of the outfielders, and that's just the tough thing: hit them in the holes.
Well, now after back-to-back hits, going to have a meeting on the mound, and he walked Hunter Mize to lead off the inning. Zach Chavers doubled to the gap and out in right field. Daniel Tunnel singled to center field. Both runs scored from second and third base. The runner advanced to second on the throw, and David Bowen just singled through the 6-hole through the left side. So now runners at first and third base, nobody out. Now you're getting to the tougher part of this order with Jake Mills, Cody Roberts, and Ricky Ware. Guys, I don't blame him for being on the mound right now. I don't know if I'd want to be out there.
Having to make some adjustments now as the sun is shifting on us. It's not a cool day today, folks. It always seems like when this tournament rolls around, we're in Pontotoc, that's when it's deciding to be the hottest part of the year.
It never fails, and then the tornadoes and the torrential rains begin. This one gets away from the catcher. Jake Mills swung on and missed it. However, the runner at first base did advance 90 feet, and that's actually a really big play because that's another run in scoring position.
We've already seen David's got the speed to score. If you hit something to right and get on the ground, let it run, he's got the speed to chug it around the bases in a heartbeat. Hey, big stat, guys, that we may have forgotten about, no outs.
The 1-0, that one stays low and away for ball 2. 2 of the count, good hitters count right here, especially with runners on. You look at the line. 3 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second for the Pontotoc Red Sox, 5 runs on 6 hits. For the Booneville Braves, 2 runs on 1 hit. It was a huge one, though. Will Hawkins hit a 2-run bomb to left field. This one stays low in the dirt for ball 3. 3-0 now with nobody out. First base is open, so you can load the bases, hopefully set up the double play. It's going to be against one of the tougher hitters in this order, though, in Cody Roberts.
Yeah, as I mentioned, he had an outstanding season for Pontotoc this year, his senior year. Him and Daniel Tunnel, probably 2 of the top senior performers last year.
Excuse me, I said it was 3-0. It's actually 2-1. Now 3-1.
He's struggling. They're going to have to do something.
Yeah, I think this is going to be it right here, guys.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a pitching change. While we do that, how about we take it to a break? Your score, 5-2 in favor of the Pontotoc Red Sox here in the top of the second inning in Senior American Legion Baseball Tournament action. Pitching change has just occurred. You have runners at second and third base, a 3-1 count on the batter Jake Mills, as Matt Davis has been replaced with Sam Cruz, number 21, from the Booneville Braves. And Adam, once again, getting into that bullpen, we already talked about the fact that the Booneville Braves have already played one game, find themselves down in this one, 5-2, swung on and fouled off. So 3-2 the count, full count now to Jake Mills, and that's exactly what he was brought on to do, throw strikes. Situation where Matt Davis had a pretty tough day on the mound, couldn't really get ahead of batters, and these Pontotoc Red Sox hitters were all over him.
Yeah. Well, one thing you got to start taking in now. Granted, this is a long game, but once it starts getting out of hand, you still got another game to play that you can still rally back through. So you got to start as a coach, you got to start saying, well, Matt don't have his stuff this game. Let's go ahead and save him, for game 2. He might have a better go at it.
That's right. He only threw 41 pitches. Beautiful pitch right there by Sam Cruz as he retires the first batter he faces. He inherited a 3-1 count, comes back, throws 2 strikes, and that's the most important out of the inning, of any inning. I would have to say it. Everybody says, well, the third out is the most important. Well,
no,
you got to get the first one.
And you get the first one before you get any of the other ones.
Absolutely. So Sam Cruz does his job, gets 1 out. So now runners at second and third base. That'll bring up Cody Roberts. Still a threat for the Pontotoc Red Sox as they've already plated 2 in the inning. This one stays high and away for ball 1.
Well, you got to be careful with Roberts at the plate. He's got a good bat. He's a patient batter. He'll work you to a full count, and then he'll find a pitch that he can just take and stick out the bat and poke it out to the left.
He pulled a pitch down the third base line back in the first inning, and this one he rips to left field. Left fielder doesn't have a play on it. This one's going to go into the hole. 2 runs will score. Cody Roberts chugging for second base. He's in there safely. The ball skips away from the second baseman, so Cody Roberts with a 1 out, 2 RBI double to left center field. Now your score 7-2, Red Sox on top.
Well, just talk about Bowen's speed again. He almost caught up with the guy on third as he was like 2 or 3 steps behind him. But as I said, Ryan, he does a good job staying patient at the plate, finds a pitch he likes, and he does a good job of pulling it. And that time he just smashed it over to the left, got by the guy, and scored 2 more runs. So now you're looking at a 7-2 ball game.
Yes, certainly a situation you really like to see, especially from these Pontotoc Red Sox. Plated 4 here in the second, plated 3 in the first. 7-2 your score, and now Ricky Ware, another big threat, steps to the plate. Back in the first inning, Ricky Ware singled through the 6-hole.
Called that one a ball, like it broke back in pretty good, nicely.
Cruz's 1-0 stays just away, 2-0 the count. Matt Davis only threw 41 pitches. He did face 14 batters, as he will be credited with 7 runs as Sam Cruz came on for the previous batter before Cody Roberts, struck him out, but he had 2 base runners on base.
Guys, I'm going to say this. If Ricky would have caught up with that last pitch, that ball would still be traveling.
2-1.
You called it.
Lifted and through
good.
the uprights for a 3-point field goal.
3 points, 4 points.
Ricky Ware plants a curveball from Sam Cruz through the uprights onto the Warriors football field, as score now 9-2 in favor of the Pontotoc Red Sox, and still there's only 1 out in the inning.
Well, this is the type of start you want to be the defending state champions here at your home field. You want to get a start where teams are taking a look at it and say, dang, 9 runs off 8 hits. They're not even through with the second inning yet. These guys are, that intimidating factor, getting the heads of the teams that you're waiting to play on down the line.
Well, and you certainly like it for your pitcher, Lee Payne, if he can come back, get in a little bit of a groove. And I'm sure Lee is thinking that he really doesn't want to face Will Hawkins at any point in the next inning.
No.
But you got to think if you're the Pontotoc Red Sox, if you can get on a roll, maybe get 3 up, 3 down, this thing could easily be in the bag by the 4th or 5th inning. That one stays low and away to the batter, Brock Foster. Foster in the first inning walked on 4 pitches. Now working with a 2-0 count from Sam Cruz.
Foster is out of Northeast.
That one fouled off to the net. Foster would be followed by Landon Brister, who flied out in the top of the first inning to in the bases loaded jam for Matt Davis. Pontotoc Red Sox 9 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Booneville Braves 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors. Swung on and missed on a high fastball. 2-2 the count to Brock Foster.
I think that's an important thing, that 8 hits. They've been 8 solid, good hits,
Yeah.
no errors. So, I mean, they just been
Well, that's
pushing it around the bases.
that's like I told you guys, before the game. They've been swinging some hot bats, and so far they're making me look like I know what I'm talking about.
There's a ground ball to Will Hawkins. Fields it cleanly, throw over to first base in time for the second out of the inning. Sam Cruz now 2 down in the inning. He will get set to face Landon Brister.
Well, I know right now if you're Booneville, you don't want another 20 minutes to pass by before you get the next out.
No. It's just too hot.
Landon Brister.
And what time were they out this morning?
I believe they started that one right at 11, so
11?
they probably got it at the field about 9, somewhere around that,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit before. So, I mean, they've been out the ballpark all day.
First pitch over for strike 1. Home plate umpire giving the benefit of the doubt to Sam Cruz, and I have to agree with him there. Sam Cruz has been right over the plate. Situation like this, you have to trust your defense behind you. They have been ripping the ball, but eventually the breaks will go your way. Nice breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, just off. 1-1 the count.
We batted around again.
Landon Brister is the number 9 batter, so yes.
Well, the guys getting their chops today.
The 1-1 from Cruz, grounded foul down the third base line. 1-2 now, and Sam Cruz and the Booneville Braves only 1 strike away from getting out of a hit-plagued inning for the Pontotoc Red Sox. They've pushed across 6 more runs to add to their 3-2 lead. 9-2 here in the top of the second. Sam Cruz and Booneville Braves looking to pick the sticks back up pretty soon. 1-2 coming to Landon Brister. Catcher sets up outside. Brister not going after it. 2-2.
Just for my curiosity, in the Legion Ball, do they have a 10-run rule?
They do, but I think it's after 7.
I believe it's 10 runs after 7.
I don't want to jinx anybody. I was
Yeah,
just
but-
sitting here curious.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's people wondering that at home as well.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, 2 years ago when we came to cover, I believe it was the Mississippi Stars and the Tupelo 49ers, played an 18-11 ball game. We just kept waiting for that 10-run
Yeah,
rule to
yeah.
come into effect, and it never did.
It never could get it.
And a game that lasted about as long, well, not nearly as long as yesterday's game into today, but close to it.
This one's setting the tone here for a long ball game as well. We're almost knocking on the door of the hour mark here for this contest, and we're not even in the 3rd inning yet.
Yeah, Landon Brister works the count full, gets a 6-pitch walk. Now that will bring up Hunter Mize, the leadoff batter. Mize grounded out 5-3 in the first, walked to lead off this inning, probably about an hour and a half ago. Sam Cruz up, gets ahead of him early, 0-1 the pitch. Hunter Mize scored on a walk early in the inning, and that's really where it started to unravel for Matt Davis and the Booneville Braves. 0-1 coming from Sam Cruz. Curveball stays low in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 the count.
Well, guys, let's just talk about this on the same token. We see how Pontotoc's quickly jumped up 9 runs. We got 9 innings of baseball. Pontotoc commits an error here, commits an error there. Booneville gets some hot bat sparked here. They can be right back in it. We saw that in the case of the first game with Hub City. It looked like Booneville was going to pull away from it there for a little while. Then Hattiesburg was able to climb back into it. So, we're already talking about sort of as this one's kind of over with. But, hey, it's baseball. Crazy things happen.
Oh, it's far from over with. I was just sitting here looking at 9-2 and doing the math and saying, okay, do they have that?
Curveball stays low and in the dirt, gets past the catcher. Brister will advance to second base. Count now 2-2 to Hunter Mize. Yeah, and certainly comeback baseball being played earlier in the day with the Amory Cardinals and Tupelo 49ers. Amory jumped out to a 3-0 lead through the first 6 innings, and Tupelo just kind of chipped away.
Yeah, it's almost been the theme of the tournament so far.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in that first game. If the rain delay hadn't have occurred, you always wonder what could have happened. As Hunter Mize chases a high fastball in his eyes for strike 3. However, the Pontotoc Red Sox score 6 in the inning, 9-2 your score. We're going to the bottom of the second inning, and to tell you the truth, Lee Payne has been sitting on that bench now for about 25 to 30 minutes. We'll see how that phases him. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Justin Jordan, Clint Hodges, and Brett Grantham, 6, 7, 8 batters due up for the Booneville Braves. 7, 8, 9 batters due up for the Booneville Braves. Here in the bottom of the second inning, your score 9-2. The Pontotoc Red Sox have given Lee Payne a 7-run edge in this. Actually, it's really a first-round game for the Pontotoc Red Sox. Really a second-round game as they received a bye.
Yeah, this is actually the game that was supposed to lead off the day today at 1.
There's a ground ball to the right side. Nice play by Jake Mills over at first base to record the first out of the inning. So 3 pitches, 1 down for Lee Payne. Well on his way to a good inning, and that's what we talked about, Steve. If you get a couple leadoff runners on base, you start chipping away at this lead, and things can really start unraveling for the Pontotoc Red Sox. They'd really like to keep that staff intact for a deep run to the to this state championship matchup.
Certainly, and it's very possible to chip away at it.
Guys, totally off the subject. We got football season coming up next. Well, hey, there's some kid for the Pontotoc Warriors. Either A, is crazy, or B, dedicated to some football. He's up there running the freaking stands.
I know, that's what I was kind of looking at before Ryan was talking to me. I said, Adam, look over there. Some kid's running the stairs in the oven, the hollow oven.
Shows dedication right there. I don't know if I'd be out there running stadiums, as they call it.
And then
more power to him.
When we're asking for his autograph 4 years from now,
yeah,
we'll go, see, I told you.
The 1-2 coming from Lee Payne. Beautiful curveball once again to the right side. Jake Mills will take it himself, step on first base once again. So 2 up, 2 down for Lee Payne, and now he will get set to face Brett Grantham after retiring Clint Hodges.
A big 3 up, 3 down inning here would be big for Pontotoc.
Grantham, the number 9 batter, he would be followed by Ben Wallace if he were to reach. That one just a little bit high and inside to
got him.
To Brett Grantham. They said it. I think that kind of brushed his jersey. Grantham doing his job, though, getting on base any way he can. That'll bring up the leadoff batter. Ben Wallace struck out looking on 5 pitches. Lead off the bottom of the first inning. If he reaches, he would be followed by Drew Dobbs, who scored. He was issued a 1-out walk back in the bottom of the first. Booneville Braves really, you can't really say that they've been out of this ballgame, especially from an offensive standpoint. They plated 2 in the bottom of the first after Pontotoc put 3 on the board in the top, and this has really been their only opportunity since Pontotoc put 6 back on the board in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, Lee's done a good job keeping the bats quiet for Booneville here.
One-0 coming from Lee Payne. I guess that one just a little bit high. Ricky Ware probably asking home plate umpire about that one. 2-0 the count to Ben Wallace. Runner at first base, Brett Grantham, who got into the game later last night. That one skips in the dirt. Nice stop right there by Ricky Ware. And yeah, Adam, that's something you mentioned earlier in the game. A lot of these pitchers probably have a problem of getting overheated, but think about these catchers, and especially with Ricky Ware and a couple of the other catchers we've seen already in the first 3 games. These guys have got long games ahead of them, and even more coming tomorrow and the next day.
Absolutely. So, I mean, they've got all that gear on in that sense right there. So, it's hot up here for us, so we can imagine what it is on the field for everybody, actually.
Lee Payne issues a strike on a 3-0 count. That one on the inside part of the plate as well, and Wallace didn't like it. Full count now coming to Ben Wallace.
Wallace took a little extra time standing down that baseline, so...
Yeah. Well, actually, that didn't look a little low to you.
It did, but I think if anything close after he kind of did that to the umpire,
Yeah.
might get him a strikeout here. Ladies and gentlemen, enter Stephen Chris with a fan.
Full count delivery. Curb on the inside part of the plate, and Ben Wallace is rung up looking. That's the second time he struck out looking on the afternoon, and Lee Payne has got it going right there. That's a tough pitch to take, but I'll tell you what, that was a little bit inside.
Yep.
Well, I think a lot of that had to do with the simple fact that, he kind of showed up the umpire, so.
Don't do that.
Your score as we head to the top of the third inning, 9-2 in favor of the Pontotoc Red Sox and top of the Booneville Braves. Welcome back to action here in the top of the third inning. 9-2 your score as the Red Sox are leading the Booneville Braves here on the second day of the American Senior Legion Baseball Tournament. First pitch from the relief pitcher Sam Cruz, who came on in relief of Matt Davis in the last inning. Actually didn't do that bad of a job. He induced a lot of ground balls, induced some fly balls as well. Got out of the jam, not before allowing 2 more runs on a Ricky Ware 2-run bomb. That one stays high as well. 2-0 the count now to Zach Chavers. He'll be followed by Daniel Tunnell and then David Bowen.
Well, Pontotoc just jumped out that first 2 innings, just very aggressive with the bat.
Certainly were, and they really jumped on a lot of first pitches as well. 2-1 the count as Chavers fouls that one off. Chavers in this ball game officially 1 for 2, had a double to the left field gap, which allowed he and Hunter Mize to be in scoring position at second and third base. This one fouled off to the right side once again. 2-2 the count.
Oh, that got it.
I think it hit the road.
The road?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 batters do it for the Pontotoc Red Sox, and like you said, there's really no soft spot. 2 for 3. You got 4 for 5 are these 2, 3, 4 batters, but Sam Cruz retires Zach Chavers on a nice pitch. So 1 down in the inning, and that's something that this Booneville Brave team has not been able to do, and that's get the leadoff batter in each inning.
Yeah.
Well, you
But I think Pontotoc's just been jumping on that first or second pitch.
Well, that, and you figure Booneville's going to eventually come around.
Yeah.
First pitch to Daniel Tunnell. Nice breaking ball over for strike 1. It really just seems like these pitchers take a little bit longer to get in their rhythm, and especially in a game like this, you can take a couple innings to get into your rhythm, but unfortunately for the Booneville Braves, Pontotoc Red Sox came out swinging the bat, and they knew exactly what was coming, especially in those first few pitches, just looking fastball, especially on the second and third pitches. That's why pitch count really didn't stack up on Matt Davis, and he'd actually be good to come on in a later game later on this weekend. He only threw 41 pitches. He did face 14 batters, however. That's really not that bad when you think about this tournament format.
Hey, if I think the losers advance after this game to play, so he could, if the score stays as is, he could be available for the next game.
This one all the way to the backstop.
Oh, we got some good flinching going on over here.
Well, Booneville just looks like they haven't been in this thing from the get-go, guys, and I think you're starting to see that case where they had a good 4-hour layover, 5-hour.
Yeah,
in between games. So, I think you're starting to see that come in where they were just sitting around. They might have went, uptown, got them a bite to eat or something like that. But, they had that big layover, so I think it's starting to affect them.
2-1 pitch on the outside part of the plate, 2-2.
Well, like I mentioned earlier, it's that up and down thing. I mean, they all want to be out here, but it's just you've gotten up for the first game. You took care of business. Now you go to a lull, so you have to get up all emotionally and for the next game, and it's just kind of tough to do sometimes.
That was a nice changeup from Sam Cruz. Pulled the string on that one, and now that one will bring up David Bowen. I agree with that, and it really seems like you take a look at some of the infielders right now, guys kind of hanging their heads. After you're on the field for about 25 to 30 minutes, especially after the top of the second inning, you're not really seeing the ball being hit to you. You're seeing a lot of stuff happen from the pitcher, and Sam Cruz has got to start getting on top of the ball as well.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see the heat come into effect. As you were talking about earlier, Steve, his hand getting a little sweaty out there. See that time, as soon as he released the ball, he went straight for the dirt. Didn't even look to see where it went. Try to get some of the grip back on him.
Yeah.
David Bowen, the batter, officially 2 for 2 in this ballgame through the first 2 innings. He has scored both times he has been up to the plate. Pretty good on-base percentage for one game. There's a ground ball to the second baseman. This could be 3 up, 3 down for the first time for the Booneville Braves, and Pontotoc Red Sox go quietly here in the top of the third. 9-2 your score as Sam Cruz does a very good job in that inning. Got the leadoff guy, got ahead of some of these batters, actually struck out the first 2 batters he faced here in the top of the third inning. And then you got to David Bowen and said, you know what, let's go ahead and induce the ground ball. We'll take it to a break. Your score 9-2 as we head to the bottom of the third. Two, 3, 4 batters do it for the Booneville Braves here in the bottom of the third. First pitch swinging, ground ball to the shortstop as they retire the leadoff batter. Lee Payne has done a good job retiring the leadoff guy. He's done it so far all 3 innings. Now he will get set to face Will Hawkins, who actually burned him back in the first on a 2-run home run to left field. And this is really, I guess, all it boils down to. If you can get Will Hawkins here, you really feel good about your chances for the next 2 or 3 innings.
And he might just provide that little spark that keeps him going.
Curveball stays low in the dirt for ball 1, and Will Hawkins took a Lee Payne curveball and planted it over the left field wall. Your score 9-2. Pontotoc Red Sox on top here in the bottom of the third inning. Lee Payne so far thrown 39 pitches through 2 complete. Actually 2 1/3. That one stays inside for ball 2, 2-0. Hawkins would be followed by Sawyer Wheatley, who struck out looking on 4 pitches back in the first. That one stays high and away for ball 3, 3-0 the count. Fastball stays inside, so
Probably not a bad move.
No.
staying away from Will Hawkins, trying to pitch him inside, and that's one of those situations. It's the intentional walk.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'd rather take my chances trying to get a strike on the inside part of the plate versus going right at him. This is a kid that's due, guys. Sawyer Wheatley.
First pitch to Wheatley, fouled back.
We do want to remind everyone watching at home we'll be selecting our all-tournament team at the conclusion of the championship games. Already has some guys making their case to make that team. Steve Witten, Ryan Whittington, and myself will be making those selections. I'll let you people at home guess who the major two opinions will be on that all-tournament team.
I think they're both named Adam.
I think so too.
Not at all.
Lee Payne quickly ahead of Sawyer Wheatley, 0-2. Runner at first base, Will Hawkins, who was issued a one-out walk. There's that big looping curveball. Jake Mills could have a play on it.
Yep. Got him.
Fields it cleanly, so now 2 down in the inning. A nice pitch by Lee Payne, especially after he got ahead of him, 0-2. Came back again with that breaking ball, and Sawyer Wheatley just a little fooled on it, had the timing off, waited back just a second later. I think he actually would have planted that out in right field.
Yeah, I agree. He's just can't find his timing on any of the pitches so far that he's seen in this contest. Like I said, he's due a big game, so, you got to think he's like a ticking time bomb just waiting to explode.
Will Wallace, the first pitch he sees, there's a ground ball to Brister over at third base.
Tunnel.
Nice pick right there.
Yep.
By the first baseman, Jake Mills. Excuse me, that was Daniel Tunnel at third base. Nice throw by him. Mills kind of had to dig it out of the dirt. Your score 9-2 as we will now head to the top of the fourth inning. Red Sox over the Booneville Braves. Welcome back to action as we head now to the top of the fourth inning. Jake Mills, Cody Roberts, Ricky Ware as the 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Pontotoc Red Sox will get set to face Sam Cruz, who's really been on cruise control ever since that second inning when he was brought in relief. Gave up a home run to Ricky Ware, but since that time he's really settled in. It's just a first pitch ball to Jake Mills. Mills on the afternoon 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch and scored in the first inning. Also struck out. Was the first batter that Sam Cruz faced back in the second inning.
Ooh.
Ryan, by the way, nice play on words.
Oh, you like the little pun, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well.
I just forgot my drums at home.
Anytime you see a player with Cruz on the back of their jersey, you love the type of words you can use.
I just didn't want you to think they went unnoticed.
Curveball stays just away for ball 2, 2-1 the count.
I don't think Steve called it was the reason why I was bringing it up.
No, I called it. I just thought it was good enough by itself.
There's more people running the bleachers across the way, too.
It's getting big. They could slide down that hill. Ooh.
Swung on, lifted in the foul territory left side. That was going to get out of play.
I'm telling you, since I've been watching the games here, every time somebody hits something, I think it's gone.
Yeah, well, it don't take much to get out of here. You got 310 down the lines, 350, so it says, dead center.
Well, especially that Philip Matthews swing that he put on it. I wasn't sure if it was going to get out. I was going to hold back on it just a little bit, see where it went. There's a ground ball to the left side.
Nice play.
Shortstop, nice play right there. High throw, let's see if he stayed on the bag. He did. Nice play right there by the Booneville Braves as there's quickly one down in the inning as Jake Mills is retired. Brett Grantham with a nice backhand stop. Kind of a little high throw, but Drew Dodds kind of bailed him out there at the end. So one batter, one out. Sam Cruz will now get set to face Cody Roberts.
Well, business is starting to pick up here, guys. We went 44 minutes in the first 2 innings, but now we're starting to just 3 up, 3 down these last couple of innings here. So it's really helping out some of these fans that are having to sit out in the heat. It's going to be interesting to see how much time they give in between this game and the next game, as I believe that was Hunter Mize rolling for his safety over at the Pontotoc dugout.
It surely was, and good thing for them. They put up that little gate area in front of Pontotoc's dugout during the offseason.
I have to admit, Pontotoc is, over the last 3 or 4 years, have done a lot of good improvements to the field. This is actually one of the nicer fields that you'll come across in Northeast Mississippi.
Easily. There's a ground ball to Will Hawkins, who makes a nice play. Let's see if he can throw him out at first. Almost has the snag, but
He's going to second.
Making him at second instead. You have to hurry.
Roberts
Got him.
going to second. As a tougher throw would have gotten him at second base, but good job right there by Cody Roberts to leg out anything that was hit to the left side. Will Hawkins made a nice play on the ball. He actually had a chance at him at first base, but one of the situations where if you short hop it, could go all the way to the backstop. You could get 2 out of that.
Yeah, I thought Cody there for a minute had taken too big of a turn heading to second and had a lot of ground to sort of make up in between the turn there, but he was able to get there and get in the dirt and get in scoring position.
Yeah, now Ricky Ware will be allowed to take his hacks as he singled in the first and then hit a long home run back in the second. Officially 2 for 2. Also has 3 RBIs on the afternoon.
Well, I'll just say this with Ricky. When one goes, the other ones tend to follow.
One down here in the top of the fourth inning. Runner at second base, Cody Roberts, who reached on the air. This one got a piece of it, fouled it off to the right side.
Lands safely in the parking lot. Steve-O, where'd you park? Where'd you park, Steven? Oh, he parked way out there then. Ricky touched one.
Steven parked in Tupelo as to not be hit by any foul balls. Cruz has a sign now. Checks the runner back second base. The 0-1 fouled off once again.
That one's off the top of the building.
We've seen a good number of foul balls today.
Yeah, we have. You got to think baseball is at $2.50 a pop. You got to try to go get as many of those as possible.
That's why they want to urge you to come out, support American Legion Baseball, so you go to the concession stand.
Till you give away a free cup of ice cream, you might have a riot for it was a foul ball.
That's right. That one stays just away on the nice breaking pitch into the dirt. Nice job by Wallace behind the plate. He's been in the dirt quite a bit today. Had to deal with Matt Davis a little bit earlier on, and now Cruz has kind of been all over the plate. One and two to Ricky Ware. He will be followed by Brock Foster. Officially 0 for 1 in the afternoon. Walked back in the first to load the bases, and then grounded out to the third baseman back in the second inning. The 1-2, where it looked like he wanted it, was able to hold up. 2-2 the count on an inside fastball.
You know, he's another one of these kids that was starting quarterback for Houston football team, elected to not play his senior year and focus solely on baseball. Starting to see that a lot more in athletes these days. The multi-sport athletes are still around, but a lot of the kids, you know, you see David Bowen now electing. He was a starting quarterback for South Pontotoc, and he'll be focusing only on baseball this year. So you're starting to see that a lot more with kids who have the chance to make the jump and do big things in baseball.
Yeah, and coaches certainly hate to see that, especially, you know, whichever sport they're transferring from, but it certainly helps out careers, especially with these players who really have a future and have the opportunity to be drafted. Curveball lifted into left field. This one's gone, but
it's foul.
Just a little foul.
Well, Ricky kind of took him a Sosa hop on that one, hoping it would stay fair, but that one is traveling.
Yeah, Ricky Ware tagged that one, and certainly don't want to hang any more of those breaking balls and anything where he can extend his arms.
He'll show him that pitch again, he'll quickly shake it off.
Sam Cruz, though, has a full count now to Ricky Ware. One down. Swung on and missed as great pitch by Sam Cruz. Able to strike out Ricky Ware, and that's actually a huge threat, huge strikeout for Sam Cruz. Now there's 2 down in the inning, and the batter will be Brock Foster.
Yeah, I think Ware actually that time was trying to put that one back in Houston. When he swung, he actually lost the handle on the bat that time.
Foster, if he were to reach, would be followed by Landon Brister. Runner at second base is Cody Roberts, who reached on an error. Swung on, lifted into center field. Center fielder coming in on it now after drifting back. Almost too far in, but he corrals the baseball for the final out here in the top of the 4th inning. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, you're scored 9-2. Pontotoc Red Sox leading the Booneville Braves.
We've had a couple of quick innings here.
Yeah, Ryan, why don't you recap the scoring for us real quick? We've taken a good many breaks here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that, as this won't take too long. Actually, the Pontotoc Red Sox started out in the top of the 1st inning. They plated 3, and all 9 Pontotoc Red Sox batters came to the plate. After 2 quick outs, Hunter Mize grounded out to the third baseman. Zach Chavers was called out. Then Daniel Tunnell got it started with a walk. David Bowen singled. Jake Mills was hit by a pitch to load the bases, and Cody Roberts with a big hit down the third base line had a single. That plated 2. Ricky Ware with a single. That plated 1. Brock Foster walked to load the bases, and Landon Brister flew out to end the threat. However, the damage was done to Matt Davis. He only lasted about another two-thirds of an inning back in the top of the 2nd. However, the Booneville Braves got on the board in the bottom of the 1st when Will Hawkins hit a 2-run bomb to left field. That was all that could be done, though, and since that time, Lee Payne has been absolutely untouchable for the Pontotoc Red Sox, as he has only thrown 47 pitches through 3 complete innings. He's also struck out 3 guys, all of them looking. Great job by Lee Payne so far. He's walked a couple guys, but I'll tell you what, he's really been using that curveball very effectively. Pontotoc Red Sox got 6 runs in the 2nd inning, and to tell you the truth, just about every person who came to the plate in the inning scored. You had David Bowen who singled, Daniel Tunnell who singled, Zach Chavers, he doubled to the gap. Cody Roberts doubled. Ricky Ware also capped off the inning with a 2-run home run to left field, and that's really how it's been since that time, as both pitchers have really settled into a groove as we head now to the bottom of the 4th inning. Once again, 9-2 your score. The Booneville Braves will now send to the plate Chris Gullick, Justin Jordan, and Clint Hodges. Try to put something together against Lee Payne.
And that might be it. Nope, got under too much.
This one's going to get into foul territory as Mr. Gullick had the right idea, was looking for the right pitch, just kind of dropped his back elbow just a little bit too much and lifted it.
Kind of glad to see it going over to the left field side that time.
Yeah.
The 0-1 coming from Lee Payne. Fastball stays away. 1-1 the count to Chris Gullick. We talked about Gullick in the first game against the Hub City Bombers. His line doesn't sound too great. He lasted 5 2/3 through 98 pitches, faced 31 batters, struck out 5, walked 5, gave up 3 hits, 6 runs. However, only one of those runs was earned. Had a wild pitch, also hit a batter. So Chris Gullick, the line might not sound great, but he had a lot of errors behind him, and it was really a tough day for the Booneville Braves. In the infield, they had 6 errors.
Ooh.
That was the roof. You were talking about all the foul balls. Still don't beat that one we saw at Millsouth.
No, that's still the.
Went through that back part of the car. That one actually come off the roof and rolled down below us. I'm telling you, all they got to do is entice them with a free cup of ice cream.
I'll tell you what.
We'll have MMA for foul balls.
Well, he sat there and took that one. Watched the little curveball come in for a ball, but there you go.
There's a fastball hit right back up the box.
Ow.
Diving shortstop can't get to it, and kind of belly flop, kind of face planted right there.
Face planted himself there, so he's making the effort. The end result wasn't worth it, but still, you got to credit the kid for wanting to get out there and try to make the web gym type play.
Now the batter will be Justin Jordan, grounded out to the first baseman in the 2nd inning, as Chris Gullick has led off the bottom of the 4th with a single right back up the box. Certainly a good way to get it started against Lee Payne, who has really been untouchable ever since Will Hawkins hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 1st.
Jordan is the Myrtle native. We saw a good battle between them and Callan City in the semifinal rounds of the North State 1A. Also saw a good battle with them in basketball as well.
Clint Hodges would follow Justin Jordan. Getting towards the bottom of the order for this Booneville Braves team. That one over for a strike.
Jordan didn't like that one too much. He turned around, looked at Coach Sanderson, and sort of shook his head.
Yeah, I think that was legit. Caught that inside corner.
Ricky Ware set up on the outside part of the plate. Didn't want that to be anywhere near it. Lee Payne actually kind of missed. We've seen that quite a bit, especially on these 0-2 pitches. These pitchers and these catchers not really on the same page. The catchers will set up probably a good 2 to 3 feet off the plate and say, you know what, I don't want this anywhere near the batter, but these pitchers are kind of tailing back in on them. The 0-2 count coming, curveball, nice one, but just sank a little bit too far inside on the right-handed batter.
You know, we talked about these catchers. You watch Ricky behind the plate. He does a lot of movement. You know, he'll jump, spring from that low position. He'll jump to the outside, so he's going to be worn out by the time we reach the 6th inning.
Sets up outside again. Nice pitch, and actually Ricky Ware thought about the snap throw down to first base, but Chris Gullick got back a little bit too quick. 2-2 the count now to Justin Jordan as he was behind 0-2. He's fought the count back even. For breaking ball,
play.
ripped to the shortstop. This could be 2. Got to turn it quickly. Didn't get the guy at first. Chris Gullick is retired on the fielder's choice 6-4 as Lee Payne induces the ground ball, and now he'll get set to face Clint Hodges.
Yeah, you got to be quick to get Jordan. Jordan's got great speed.
He
over
hustled.
there.
Yeah, he hustled on down the line.
So he didn't waste any time getting down to first.
Certainly didn't, and now you still have a runner on base with 1 down in the inning. Still have the opportunity. Clint Hodges, the number 8 batter for the Booneville Braves. Yesterday's game 0-4 with 2 strikeouts. This one, curveball, came back inside on the batter, the right-handed batter. Clint Hodges wasn't too sure what to do with it, kind of came back in on him on the hands, and Ricky Ware was set up way outside. This breaking ball, a little bit too sweeping for. He has two different types of breaking balls. One's the 12-6 curveball, and the other one is more like a sweeping slider. Throws both of them very effectively and knows exactly when in the count he needs to throw them. Also mixes in his fastball. Has a little bit of tailing action on it as well.
Well, we had the clouds blow through for a little while, block some of the sun. Now the sun breaking back out.
It's gone up 10 degrees on the side of the tent.
Yeah, and and it's you see a lot of people sort of retreating.
They moved.
As if they're back in the caveman days when the sun come out.
Clint Hodges couldn't catch up with that one. 0-2 the count. Lee Payne looking to put away Clint Hodges and face Brett Grantham, the number 9 batter, before heading back to the top of the order. This one stays high on the fastball.
That might have been just a pitch out to see if they couldn't catch the runner being greedy over at first, because he come up snapping, looking like he was ready to throw down.
Yeah, certainly a good pitch count to throw the pitch out on the 0-2.
Well, number 15's been looking at it several times.
Curveball. This one skips away from Ricky Ware. They said he offered at it, and maybe I think they might actually call him back. Actually, first base was inhabited, so you can't officially take first if there's a runner on first on the strikeout. So
the runner advanced, so he will get the base over to second. But as you said, no room in the end, so you are denied.
It was inhabited.
Brett Grantham steps to the plate with a runner in scoring position now in Justin Jordan. Score that one as a wild pitch, strikeout in the dirt. 1-0 the count to Brett Grantham. He got into last night's game later on. I believe he did receive an at-bat. He was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance. This one stays high, 2-0 the count.
You don't have his pitch count from last inning, do you?
His last inning, Lee threw 9 pitches. He threw 24 in the first, 14 in the second, 9 in the third. He has thrown 20 here in the fourth.
I was wondering. It felt like a little bit longer inning. And once again, we got a foul ball. I'm telling you, these things are racking up.
Wind is blowing out of the park now. Not that the batters need any help.
Certainly the type of wind that the Booneville Braves need in a situation like this. This one lifted to center field. It's going to get down for a base hit.
No.
They're going to hold the runner at third base, Justin Jordan. That one was really hit rather hardly and really straight to the center fielder. It would have been a play at the plate, absolutely.
I wouldn't have tested the arm of Hunter. We've seen him a few times out of Lafayette, showing an impressive arm from center field.
See, that's I like aggressive base running. That's when you send him and all of a sudden you're 9-3, but it might pump up your team. I mean,
yeah.
Don't get.
Now a runner only 90 feet away. Runners at first and third for Ben Wallace, who struck out twice in the afternoon. There's a ground ball down the third base line, but foul.
Coach Sanderson, the man of steel down there on the sidelines, didn't flinch, just watched it go by a few inches away from him.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying with the coaches.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I would have sent him.
Yeah, in a situation like this, you haven't really been able to get anything going against the pitcher.
You got to get something shake up.
Get something going, then you might have ended up with a guy on second base. It's.
Gotten ahead of Ben Wallace, the leadoff batter for the Booneville Braves. 0-1 the count. 2 down in the inning for Lee Payne. Your score 9-2 here in the bottom of the fourth. The Pontotoc Red Sox on top of the Booneville Braves. Braves attempting to chip away. That one stays high. 1-1 the count. Wallace were to reach, he would be followed by Drew Dobbs. 0 for 1 in the afternoon, and then Will Hawkins with a home run. So the top part of this order, certainly a lot of table setters and a lot of guys who can put runs on the board. Swung on, lifted foul back behind us.
I think that one was maybe back of a truck. That didn't sound like the roof that time.
He can hit the back of the truck all he wants. It's just that one window that left.
Payne sets, delivers the 1-2. That sweeping curveball again. There's a ground ball to shortstop, the throw over. Nice dig right there out of Jake Mills. Beautiful play on both sides, and that will end the inning here in the bottom of the fourth. After 4 complete, your score 9-2. The Pontotoc Red Sox leading the Booneville Braves. Nine 1-2 batters due up here in the top of the 5th inning for the Pontotoc Red Sox. Your score 9-2. The Red Sox leading the Booneville Braves here in a second round tournament game for both of these teams. The Booneville Braves knocked off the Hub City Bombers in last night's first round, actually the first game of this tournament. Now they got set to face first round bye opponent, the Pontotoc Red Sox. Both of these teams playing for an opportunity to play again tomorrow.
Defending state champ Pontotoc as well.
Also playing on their home field here at the Hollow. Certainly have been a tough out, as the Booneville Braves pitching staff can attest to. That one over for strike 2. Landon Brister is the batter. 0 for 1 in the afternoon. Flew out in the first inning, walked in the second. Be followed by Hunter Mize and Zach Chavers. The 0-2 coming from Sam Cruz. Wallace sets up outside, nowhere near the plate, 1-2.
Yeah, the sun's starting to set here in Pontotoc, so our tent is almost becoming void. We got our big banner there to the side. Made a certain fan to our left a little grumpy.
1-2, that one fouled off of the plate.
So you put him on TV, but he's not appropriate. Sorry, TV7 rule, no shoes, no shirt, no service.
One and two, the count to Brister.
I just wait for you to bust out laughing. You're
From
fighting.
Sam Cruz. Sweeping breaking ball, beautiful pitch. Landon Brister retired on strikes. That'll bring up Hunter Mize.
But, you know, let's go back to the point. Sam Cruz has come in and done a really good job for Booneville right now. You know, sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't. Matt Davis just unfortunately didn't have it today, starting things off. Cruz came in sort of off the fly, if you will. He's come in and, you know, he's gotten his rhythm. He's found his notch and doing a pretty good job over the past couple of innings.
He certainly has. He's been locating very effectively. Has had some problems when he first came in, but you're always going to have that, especially when you don't expect to come in, especially in the second inning of a ball game. Since that time, he's been using his fastball very effectively, been setting up his breaking pitches very well. Gets a first pitch strike to Hunter Mize, and that's something you always want to do against this guy, is get ahead and get ahead quick. This one stays low in the dirt, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, Hunter's an extremely patient batter. You know, he'll stand up there all day if you let him. But, you know, his patience pays off a lot. You know, he was selected to the all-area first team by W07BN, Daily Journal, as well as other postseason honors for the Lafayette Commodores. Was on that state championship team as well. So, you know, Hunter's been a staple with his Pontotoc team over the past few years as well.
He certainly has been, and it's already paid off in this game for him. Grounded out in the first, but walked in the second, and struck out also in the second. This one stays high, as count even now at 2-2 from Sam Cruz.
Guys, I don't know about y'all, but I feel sorry for those kids on the field right now.
It's just,
If I'm playing left, I'm leaning up against the fence.
yeah.
Just find me any type of break from this heat.
Yeah, it's certainly getting pretty difficult out there right now. That one fouled off at the plate by Hunter Mize, and it seems like every opportunity you get, you want to get back to the dugout and get in the shade.
Since you said that, I kind of wonder why that team's up on that bench in center field.
It might
is
be Hub City. They might just be out.
They're wearing red.
True. That might be some of the Cardinals. Amory does play the next game.
I mean,
That brings the question how much time they're actually going to give the loser of this game to sort of sit back and recoup before they go on and play the next one.
I mean, to each his own, but I mean, there is shade available.
Very little. You can probably sell
they're
it.
young.
Yeah,
they
you can sell it for a pretty penny as well. Nice
Swung
pitch.
on and missed, but this one gets behind the catcher. Hunter Mize will reach first base safely after the strikeout. Great job by Hunter Mize to be aware of where the ball was, and an even better pitch by Sam Cruz. If you're able to block that one up, that's an easy second out of the inning, exactly what you want to do. And Hunter Mize has been on the base pass all afternoon. That's really been one of the reasons why there's been so many problems.
Yeah, well, I told you, Sam does a good job of mixing his pitches up. You saw early, he's going fastball, fastball, fastball whenever he'd get in tight situations. But now he's leaning more on his curveball. So, once these guys on in looking for the heat, he's got that breaking pitch that's coming in and really giving the guys problems here.
Zach Chavers steps in, swung on, fouled off the first pitch he sees. He struck out back in the third. Daniel Tunnel stands on deck. Zach Chavers in this ballgame 1 for 3, had a double back in the second. Daniel Tunnel on deck 1 for 2 in this ballgame, had a single back in the second.
Good quick throw that time. Got it right as Mize was shifting his weight towards second. Hadn't really got set yet to shift his weight back towards first, and almost got him picked off.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be actually a little closer than it turned out to be.
The 0-1 coming, swung on, lifted, but foul territory. I think this one will stay in play, though.
He's got to play on it.
As it does, and Drew Dodds records the second out of the inning on a Zach Chavers pop fly on the infield. That'll bring up Daniel Tunnel. Actually, if Hunter Mize were unable to reach and Ben Wallace were able to block up that last strikeout pitch by Sam Cruz, that would be the 7th strikeout for Sam Cruz here, only in the top of the 5th inning. Remember, he came on in relief in the second.
Paying a lot of attention over there to Hunter, rightfully so, as we talked about. He's got great speed, quick as a hiccup, and he'll steal it as soon as you blink an eye. Steve, you was talking about a while ago sending that run home. Pontotoc needs something again.
Yeah,
you don't want to get in that lull. You got a 7-run lead. They saw it against Booneville the first time. They kind of went to sleep, and Booneville was able to fight their way back in the contest and eventually come back and win it.
Yeah, all I was trying to suggest is it kind of has lulled itself back into a normal baseball game after that quick start by Pontotoc, and you might be right here. Just a little boost, maybe up to that 11th run,
It's not just a shot in the arm.
This one stays low in the dirt after a ball skips away from the catcher, Wallace, which allows Hunter Mize to scamper 90 feet. Now you've got a runner in scoring position for the Red Sox, 2 down on a 2-0 count to Daniel Tunnel.
Do want to remind everybody, if you'd like to order a copy of this game or any other games that you've seen throughout the sports season, check out our website, w07bn.com. That's w07bn.com. You can check out our sports archives dating all the way back to 1982. Give us a call at 983-2801. That's area code 662-983-2801. Talk to Steve and Chris for more information. Don't forget to ask about our bulk order discounts that are available.
This one on the outside part of the plate, 3-1 the count now from Sam Cruz to Daniel Tunnel. 1982. That's a long time ago, guys.
I was 2 years old.
I wasn't
You're
even born yet.
2. I think Evo had just made his debut in the world.
The 3-1 coming from Sam Cruz. This one lifted to left field.
Trouble.
Down the line. That's going to stay fair. 1 run will score. Tunnel rounded first. Get a big round at first, but a nice job by the left fielder to get that ball in quickly, hold him to a long single.
Yeah, but say he got to that ball quickly and didn't waste any time. He just barehanded it, picked it up, and chunked it back in a hurry. There's your run. Still wasn't that much of a boost in the arm. It kind of, Mize just trotted his way home.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, I think both teams have kind of lulled themselves into an afternoon ball game here.
well, here's a guy that can break that lull, David Bowen. Now, I know every time he comes to the plate, you're going to hear a lot coming from me. But this kid, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, guys. This kid's good.
Yeah, 2 for 3 in the afternoon. Had a single in the first, a single in the second. Scored both of those times. Grounded out 4-3 back in the third. Came up empty on that one. 0-1 the count to David Bowen. He would be followed by Jake Mills if he were to reach.
I know David's gotten a couple of looks through Mississippi State. Their recruiting website has featured him a couple of times. Got some coaches here behind us checking him out as well. So it could be interesting to see. And, you know, I keep on talking about it. We saw Blake Jolly earlier with Tupelo. You know, South Pontotoc could put together one of those special years on the diamond.
There's a ground ball to Will Hawkins at third base. He elects to go to second.
Daniel Tunnel tried to slide in from New Albany that time. He slid about 10 yards away.
Certainly did. However, the Pontotoc Red Sox put 1 run on the board here in the top of the 5th inning. Your score 10-2. As we'll talk a little bit more about this game, and to tell you the truth, Sam Cruz has really been rolling here as we head to the bottom of the 5th. He came on in the 2nd inning, and since that time, he's just really been in control of these Pontotoc Red Sox bats. They've been able to get after him for 3 runs. However, he is mixing a lot of pitches, and he's putting it all in the zone. A lot like we can say for Lee Payne of the Pontotoc Red Sox. He's really settled down since the bottom of the 1st.
Tell you what, he's done an excellent job in my mind, kind of staying within the whole zone, strike zone, well paced, taking his time from the get-go. But then again, you know, he's had several 20-minute breaks, which helps also.
Well, you know, that's the key, you know, pitching in this type weather right now. You really want to pace yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want to get, you know, find yourself in a jam, you know, try to work too fast, work too slow. You find that comfortable rhythm, because a lot of times rhythm does more than anything when you're on the mound. You know, a lot of that also comes in play with your catcher as well, you know, getting the ball back to you, you know, chilling and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and Lee Payne has had plenty of breaks, like you said, Steve, and it seems like Sam Cruz is really the one in this situation who you look to say, you know what, a lot of stuff can happen here. You can either close the door or this thing can be blown out of proportion, and he really has done a good job coming on in relief, especially being called on in the 2nd inning. You really would consider this more of a start than a relief. Matt Davis, like we said earlier, really didn't have it, only threw an inning, faced 14 guys, threw about 41 pitches, and then when you're called on in the 2nd inning and say, you know what, go ahead and think of this as an 8-inning ball game. We're going to need you to get out. This is a new game. If you can throw strikes, that's all we ask of you.
I still think number 7 was nicked up. I mean, I don't. That's all I'm going to say. He just didn't seem like he had his form.
Matt wasn't regular Matt that we've seen throughout high school.
Lee Payne gets set to face the 2-3-4 batters from the Booneville Braves. Drew Dodds, Will Hawkins, and Sawyer Wheatley. One pitch coming to Drew Dodds. This one fouled off to the left side.
Like I said earlier, it's good to see him starting to go to the left side away from the vehicles.
Yeah.
Dodds in this ball game 0 for 1, walked and scored a run in the 1st as he trotted home on a Will Hawkins home run. Also grounded out 6-3 in the 3rd. Lee Payne not too happy about that one. Actually wanted the appeal. So it was just off the outside part of the plate. Evens the count at 2-2. Curveball over for strike 3, and there's a huge looping curve that we always see. Lee Payne loves to come with that, especially when he has 2 strikes on the batter.
Yeah, that's almost his trademark pitch there. As that was just big and nasty breaking that time.
Seems like he relies on the fact that these batters are not going to expect a curveball, especially when he gets ahead of them or gets them in two strike count situations. And a lot of these batters really look like deer in the headlights. I mean, you go to it, you'll just get jelly-legged and not be able to pull the trigger. Will Hawkins steps to the dish as Lee Payne really almost looks like he doesn't want to go after him. He's fallen behind 2-0. He also walked him on 4 pitches back in the 3rd.
Yeah,
we'll see what he elects to come with here.
Yeah, I was about to say last time he was up, he kind of stayed away from him too.
For sure, he'd like to see another curveball though.
The 2-0 coming, and Adam, he got a fastball that he wanted to deposit.
Yeah, I can say it might be one of those where he'd like to see that one again.
Outside part of the plate, and Lee Payne didn't locate it just far enough off the plate as Hawkins. He's got those long arms and was looking to extend them a little bit more. Plant that out in right field somewhere. Ware sets up outside, looking for it again. Nice pitch, though, as he sets him up high and away. So now the count even at 2-2.
Well, you know, after working him inside, last at bat, you know, he's probably crowding the plate a little bit, expecting it, you know, see if he can't get hit by a pitch. And now he's, you know, seeing everything going to the outside. So, I mean, he's seen a little bit of everything in these in these contests.
Certainly has, and Will Hawkins has done a good job. He had a tough day yesterday at third base, but he's really bounced back well. And there's that looping curveball. Will Hawkins, all he can do with it is ground it to third base. Great job right there by Lee Payne. Daniel Tunnell bailing him out, and now 2 outs in the inning as he will get set to face Sawyer Wheatley.
I'd like to go back to what we were talking about earlier. He stayed in his rhythm. I don't use the word rhythm, whatever. He's kept a well-paced game this whole time.
He certainly has, and he always loves to use that curveball, and he's still got hitters guessing, especially when it comes to getting ahead of these batters. He's going to use that curveball, whichever one it is, whether it's the sweeping slider away from the batter, especially the left-handed batter, if it's going to be that 12-6 curveball to that right-handed. The 0-1 coming. There's that 12-6er, and it bounces in front of the plate, 1-1.
Yeah, we still got to be careful with Wheatley. I still say he's just a kid that's one pitch away from really starting to tear this tournament up.
Now 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out looking in the first and just missed it back in the third as he popped out to the first baseman. He was really sitting dead red. Instead got a curveball and was only able to pop it up. 1-1 stays high. Ball 2, 2-1 the count. If he were to reach it, he'd be followed by Will Wallace, the catcher, who was plunked by a pitch back in the first, also grounded out to the third baseman in the third. This one stays inside, 3-1 count, and Adam, he's going to see something to hit here, so you can bet that Mr. Wheatley might be willing to unleash something.
Yeah, I give him the green light here just to see if you can't get him some confidence at the plate here.
3-1 coming. Swung on, lifted. It's a nice little curveball, had a late break on it. Left fielder camps under it for the final out of the inning. Some good pitching by Lee Payne. Sawyer Wheatley still looking to bust out of a little slump here in this tournament as Booneville Braves go quietly here in the bottom of the fifth. Your score 10-2, Pontotoc Red Sox on top of the Booneville Braves. Welcome back to action here in the top of the sixth inning. Pontotoc Red Sox coming to the plate as we also have a new pitcher for the Booneville Braves. Number 15, Hunter Manis. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We'll get a correct pronunciation later on. 10-2 your score. Ground ball to the shortstop. Throw over to first base in time for the first out of the inning. So
Didn't really run that one out. It took a funny hop off the grass. I think if he would have hustled down the line, he might have made that one interesting.
yeah, good job though by Hunter Manis to get the leadoff batter. And the first batter he faces here in the sixth inning. So now one down, Cody Roberts, as he would be followed by Ricky Ware. Roberts in this ball game, 2 for 3, has reached base all 3 times though, as he reached on an error back in the fourth inning. First pitch from Menace over for strike one, and evidently it's getting really hot out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're.
It's hot in here.
Yeah, say it's hot up here. So you imagine what it's like on that field right now.
I think Mr. Blue is ready to get this one out of the way. The curveball stays low in the dirt for ball 1-1 the count.
Well, like I was saying earlier, asking you to move up. I mean, the umpire went from semi-dry to broke out into a sweat here.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the temperature just like rose 10 degrees real quick. Those clouds left us.
Sun is just cooking.
That one in there for strike two, and to tell you the truth, I'd be telling any of my players go up there with the
So
intention of swinging the bat.
So obviously you got to be swinging the bat now, so no reason to getting upset. So I'm pretty sure the umpire, said a word to Browning and Sanderson. Hey, look, guys, it's hot. We're going to open up a little bit here.
The 1-2 curveball ripped foul.
Bounce back into play.
I have the final line on Sam Cruz. I'll get that to you whenever it is made available. Works 4 complete innings. Does a great job as well. I believe he had 7 strikeouts as well. So Sam Cruz comes on the second inning and lasts. Actually, you call a guy like that an innings eater because he comes in, and especially in a situation where you really needed it. in that second inning. They had already plated 4 more runs to add on to 3. It was 7-2. You really needed somebody to stop the bleeding. He only gave up 3 runs through 4 innings. Situation like that, you take those 7 runs off the board, you still got a ball game. Sam Cruz really kept them in it as close as he could. Now Cody Roberts has a full count on him.
Had me fooled there for a second. I thought it was 4th ball too.
Cody Roberts will be followed by Ricky Ware and then Brock Foster, if either of them were to reach. 10 runs on 9 hits for the Pontotoc Red Sox, 2 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors for the Booneville Braves. This one ripped to Will Hawkins. That was a tough ball to see, but a nice play over at first base. Unfortunately, Drew Dodds unable to corral that one. Actually, it knocked Will Hawkins' glove off and really had to make that one with both bare hands.
And then you had Cody hustling down to first whenever he made that extra stride into first base. His toe caught, and he planted right behind the bag. So that was a bit of wild play all over the place, guys.
Yeah, certainly going to score that one a hit. That was not only a tough play to stop, but it was really going to be tough to get the runner at third base as well.
We're going to have some changes made here as well. Coach Sanderson coming out and talking things over.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Good control. He stayed ahead.
What I'm saying is they're calling doing one of these order things. I mean, when they ask for the number, they're looking at his number. They're checking the roster. So.
Well, we saw the great debate last night that caused us not to be able to get in that first game.
Yeah, we were talking that over after the game, and I really do think that was a good 20-minute delay.
Yeah.
I think if you got to know the rains are coming, go ahead and get the game in. Go ahead and go to the top of the 9th inning. If you have to postpone it, you might have the opposing team say, you know what, it's not worth it. We've already spent 4.5 hours on this game. Let's go ahead and say, you know what, ball game's over. We'll play again tomorrow.
Well, what it does is loses all sense of reason. I mean, also a ruling shouldn't take that long.
Absolutely not. Now Ricky Ware steps to the plate with a runner on first base and Cody Roberts. Very nice at bat against Hunter Manis. This one stays low in the dirt for ball 1 to Ricky Ware. Ware struck out his last time up in the 4th inning. Hit a home run in the 2nd, also singled. Had an RBI back in the 1st. Once again, want to remind you, we'll be picking an all-tournament team. And this game has certainly had a lot of players who have stepped up to that challenge for both teams. Good play all around. Also in the earlier game, we saw a come-from-behind victory by the Tupelo 49ers over the Amory Cardinals. Down 3-0 and then came back and scored 4 runs over the last 4 or 5 innings of play. Stays low in the dirt, 2-1 the count to Ricky Ware.
One thing that has noticeably happened here, the wind has died also. So really not getting any type of breeze to give a break to this heat either.
2-1 coming, that one stays low, and Steve, it really feels like he's getting on top of that ball a little bit too much and just sinking it straight into the dirt.
He's wanting it to happen bad.
Falling behind 3-0 to Ricky Ware, not something you want to do. There's a base hit through the 6 hole, so now runners at first and second base and only 1 down for the batter Brock Foster.
That's one thing that Rick really don't get a lot of credit for. A lot of people talk about his ability to hit for power, but he does a good job of when he gets a pitch to hit and drive, he'll drive it through the 6 hole, 4 hole, and put together some base hits as well.
Well, he's certainly done that this game. 2 singles along with a home run, now officially 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Great job by Ricky Ware, certainly seeing the ball very well. You got to hope that carries over into the next game if you're a Pontotoc Red Sox fan, because right now, guys, it really seems like they're going to be the favorite to win this whole tournament, especially after a ball game like this.
I believe they'll match up with Tupelo in the semifinal round, so that's going to be a huge matchup there. That game grew into somewhat of a rivalry. Of course, you'll have a lot of the Itawamba AHS kids and Pontotoc kids from the high school on the team, so that game is normally a good game.
Certainly has grown into a rivalry matchup. Both teams alternating back and forth the state tournament site. Last year it was in Tupelo. Last few years before that it was in Pontotoc. This year's in Pontotoc, and Tupelo 49ers have really made a name for themselves, and certainly a powerful team, as we saw earlier.
Yeah, not to jinx the tournament or Pontotoc or any other team in this, but it always seems when the tournament's hosted by Pontotoc, Tupelo wins, and when Tupelo hosts a tournament, Pontotoc wins.
I tell you what, Tupelo really showed us something today, I think. Chipping away on that lead and coming back the way they did. I mean, they hung in there all day long.
Well, especially against such a
good opponent.
A very good opponent, one of those opponents that coming into even the playoff season, they were playing very good baseball. 2-1 count now to Brock Foster as the runners move up 90 feet after the wild pitch. And guys, this is where you start thinking about it. You have the winning run essentially in Ricky Ware out at second base and only one down in the inning. Even if you only get a fly ball, if you're able to advance both of those runners, the winning run would only be 90 feet away. We're only in the top of the 6th. You got to play 7. It's got to be 10 runs, but there's a little ground ball hit to the second baseman. He gets one, but it's to the right side. They score. Great piece of hitting right there by Brock Foster.
Yeah, there it is. Puts the 11th run on the board now. So now Pontotoc would love to go ahead and get in this thing early. Of course, we still have a couple of innings to play here, or the top part of the next inning to play also. So, they'd love to be able to get out here and get this thing and wrap it up early. Dude, save some pitches.
Save a lot of pitches.
Certainly would, and especially with the way that Lee Payne has been pitching very effectively, only giving up 2 runs on 3 hits. Landon Brister, the batter, takes a first pitch fastball away from Hunter Manis. 11-2 your score. Pontotoc, they scored 9 runs through the first 2 innings. Since that time, they've only put 2 runs up on the board. What they're slowly getting to this Booneville Braves team, and you can start to see the weariness factor starting to creep in now for the Booneville Braves.
Well, now you got to ask yourself, for Booneville's sake, you got to start game planning ahead of time. Hey, we got another game coming up. Who do we start subbing out? Who can we save some pitches with? Who can we, get a few extra breaths and get them ready for this next game? Because that is if the next game is, of course, the elimination game between the 2 teams. You got to get in there and save some people.
That one over for strike 1. 3-1 the count after Hunter Manis fell behind 3-0. Yeah, I got to agree with that. In a situation like that, you might say, you know what, we got to keep the guys on the field that we have in order to have some fresh players for the next game. This one lifted to center field. Center fielder taking a few steps, running in on it, fields it cleanly. That's the final out here in the top of the 6th inning. However, the Pontotoc Red Sox put 1 more on the board. Your score 11-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. And I'll tell you what, these Red Sox, they really did let off the gas pedal a little bit after the 3rd inning, but we'll see how it goes. So we head to the bottom of the 6th. Lee Payne coming onto the mound. 5, 6, 7 batters due up for the Booneville Braves. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, your score 11-2. The Pontotoc Red Sox rolling along here in the bottom of the 6th. But I'll tell you what, Mr. Wallace said, roll this. And Lee Payne just kind of looks up and says goodbye to that one. Says, all right, I'll go ahead and work on the next batter, and that'll be Chris Gullick.
Yeah, there was no questioning that one when it left the bat.
That was a very long home run.
I really didn't see it come down. He's one of those where he got extended, got the bat on the ball, and he knew, Lee knew, we all knew the end results of that one.
Yeah, he got extended right there as Will Wallace puts 1 on the board, so now 11-3. Ricky Ware went out to talk to his pitcher, Lee Payne. Payne now has 87 pitches through 5 complete. It's really not bad considering not only how hot it is out here, but the fact that he's only given up 4 hits and only 3 runs. This Booneville Braves team, which put 10 on the board against Hattiesburg in last night's game.
Yeah, it's a good point there. It's something he can look back on and be like, well, I'm still up by 8 here, so that's okay.
First pitch stays away. Second pitch high in the zone. Gullick goes after it, fouled off. 1-1 the count. He'd be followed by Justin Jordan. Gullick in the afternoon, 1 for 2.
Gullick was going for the curtain call on that one. He took a healthy chop.
This one stays low in the dirt, skips away from Ricky Ware, 2-1.
Really surprised we hadn't seen the switch made yet by either team in the catcher position.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Might do it in the 7th, just to sort of catch these guys a break.
2-1, swung on, fouled off. This one will get out of play. 2-2 the count now. Chris Gullick. Give you the final line on Sam Cruz. Threw 75 pitches after coming in relief for the Booneville Braves. 4 innings, 18 batters faced, 7 strikeouts, only walked 1. Gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of those were earned. Very good job by Sam Cruz being called upon in relief. That one stays low in the dirt. Full count now to Chris Gullick.
You look at it, he basically started this game having to come in so early, and that's putting him in a hard spot.
Certainly did, and you don't really get a lead. You have to play come from behind baseball. It's tough to give that to any pitcher as Cody Roberts takes the fly ball in the infield. 1 down in the inning after a leadoff home run by Will Wallace. That'll bring up Justin Jordan.
Not a lot you can say about this game, guys. Both these teams, as you talked about earlier, Steve, sort of settled into this groove and sort of played like a regular baseball game since then, in this sense.
That one stays high in the zone for ball 1.
Well, I mean, Tupelo, through second inning had 8 hits, and since then it's 1 more.
Yeah.
Is that right? I mean, with 7 or 8, we've had a couple of hits since the second for Pontotoc.
Yeah, Pontotoc had 8 hits through the first 2 innings. They'd put all 9 of their runs on the board by then.
Yeah.
Since that time, only 1 hit, 2 more runs scored over the last 2 frames. On the inside part of the plate. Once again, getting a little hot out there for Mr. Home Plate Umpire.
Yep.
2-1 the count to Justin Jordan from Lee Payne. This one lifted to the backstop. 2-2. Clint Hodges would follow Justin Jordan. Jordan grounded out to the first baseman in the 2nd. Also grounded in the fielder's choice back in the 4th. You see how quickly Lee Payne comes to the belt. He's go ahead, ready to pitch, get back in the shade. 2-2. There's that breaking ball ripped to center field, but right at the center fielder, Hunter Mize. Nice piece of hitting, just hit it to the wrong spot. Not catching any breaks today at the Booneville Braves.
Yeah, that's really been the story, guys. You look at Pontotoc early, they would hit the ball and find every gap that was out there, and every time Booneville's put the bat on the ball, it just went directly to a Red Sox fielder.
Clint Hodges will come to the dish. He grounded out to the first baseman in the 2nd and then struck out in the 4th. Inside part of the plate, over for strike 1. And, I say he's been a little hot and he's been calling these borderline pitches, but he's really been giving the inside part of the plate to both pitchers, all 4 pitchers on the afternoon.
Yeah, that's really all you ask. If you're going to open it up a little bit, you want to open it up for both pitchers. Consistency is the main thing you want out of home plate.
Lee Payne quickly ahead of Clint Hodges, 0-2 after an excuse me foul by Hodges at the plate. Uses that breaking ball once again, just kind of overthrew it looked like. 1-2 the count to Clint Hodges.
Well, guys, we were talking about the kid running the stands earlier. I do want to remind everybody football season's coming here quickly. And we'll be set to go on the road with Calhoun Academy, I do believe, on the 22nd. Public schools will start on the 28th. So opportunity if any businesses out there watching right now would like to advertise with W07BN during football season. Give us a call at 983-2801. That's area code 662-983-2801. Ask for Ann Morgan for more information on our advertising rates. I'll just put it to you this way: if you find better rates anywhere else, advertising-wise, I wouldn't want to buy them.
21 days.
Yep.
3 weeks. Doink.
This one hits the batter Clint Hodges, and Lee Payne looks like he's feeling the heat as well because he got ahead of Clint Hodges 0-2 and then he lost him.
I think it might be time to warm somebody up for Pontotoc in this situation. He's went his 6 innings.
I'm sure the reasoning here is especially if Pontotoc can come back out, score a couple runs, and get that 10-run lead for him. They might bring him back on and say, you know what, if you can end this, that would be perfect. But they do have someone warming on the sidelines here at the Hollow.
Yeah, I would think they would want to, not to abuse him, but they certainly don't want to use anybody if they don't have to.
It appears that Matt Shaw and Jordan Moore are getting a little soft toss to loosen up on the sidelines.
Then again, in a situation like this, you don't want to make it any worse. The 1-0, there's a ground ball. That one hits the bag. It's going fair. That was actually a very well-placed ball, as it was just down the line, hit the bag at third, and there's really nothing third baseman Daniel Tunnell could do about it. So now runners at first and second base, 2 down for Neil Tice.
It would have been an impressive play just to put a glove on the ball. Actually, I think that time he actually got a little bit quicker jump on the ball than he thought as he overdove it, and was expecting it to hit and then maybe slice away from him. Good reactions over there at third, though, but as you said, it would have been impressive for anybody on any level of baseball to make a play on that one.
Certainly would, and Neil Tice will come in number 12 in the place of Ben Wallace. Wallace had a tough day at the plate, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and grounded out to the shortstop back in the 4th inning. Neil Tice has been asked to come up with a big hit here against the Pontotoc Red Sox, start chipping away. Lee Payne's pitch over for strike 1. Nice fastball there, and that's still mixing it up a little bit, and that's what you like to see. Probably still getting a little tired, but that fastball is still coming in there. If you're locating with a first pitch fastball, it's always something that you can be happy about with your pitcher.
Absolutely.
Nice breaking ball away, snap throw down to first base.
I think if Ware would have been intending to throw that from the get-go.
Well, I really think number 4 was just sitting out there, sitting there with 2 outs, and he was kind of got a little lackadaisical there. I'm not saying he lost his concentration.
Yeah.
So, poor Tice here, he's kind of focused this time. He's got an 0-2 count on him already.
Breaking ball coming. There's that huge curve, just drifts in a little bit on him.
I think another thing has the heat to play with it.
Yeah. You were saying they were warming somebody out. All they had to do was step out of the dugout.
Yeah.
You're hot.
One of the situations where you're just sitting there thinking, gosh, it's hot.
The 1-2 coming from Lee Payne to Neil Tice, the pinch hitter.
Got him.
Over for strike 3, and that's the problem that you have whenever you're a pinch hitter. You come on, and you're asked to do the impossible. 11-3 your score as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Welcome back to baseball. Top of the 7th inning, Pontotoc Red Sox looking to push 2 runs across the board. Once again, this is a 9-inning ball game, but your score is 11-3. If the Red Sox are able to push 2 more across the plate and retire the side in the bottom of the 7th inning, that would be your ball game. And there's a lot of fans right here that are really hoping to do that, but Booneville Braves have brought on another pitcher trying to stop the bleeding. Drew Christo, number 22, come on in relief. First pitch he delivers outside, ball 1 to Hunter Mize, leadoff batter for the Pontotoc Red Sox. He's officially 0 for 4 in the afternoon, 2 strikeouts, a walk. Scored a couple runs, though. And Hunter Mize certainly not the guy you want to face whenever you come out of that bullpen for your first batter. The 2-0 coming. That one right back up the box. Hunter Mize is going to have to hustle, get there.
Does so. Drop the ball.
Would have been a nice play by the second baseman, Neil Tice, if he's able to dig that one out of the ground. Drew Dodds did all he could do, just couldn't come up with the baseball. So Hunter Mize on with a leadoff infield single.
Yeah, he's looking right back in that sun that time, and anything that's not directly to the glove is going to be hard to come up with.
Now batting number 6, Zach Shavers.
That'll bring up Zach Shavers. He's officially 1 for 4 in the ball game, had a double back in the second. Also scored a run, struck out in the third, then popped out to the catcher. The first baseman back in the 6th. In the 5th, actually. I got all my innings wrong because we actually had the Red Sox bat around a couple times. Hence your score 11-3. Christo's 1-0 stays in the dirt and away, 2-0 the count. Be followed by Daniel Tunnell. 2 for 3 in this ball game. And then David Bowen.
So how many have we gone through here for Booneville?
This is the 4th pitcher of record for the Booneville Braves. A lot of guys been on the mound for the Braves, and they went through 2 or 3 last night as well. Swung on and missed as Chavers couldn't come up with it. 2-1 the count. Matt Davis started the game, lasted an inning. Sam Cruz came in, went 4. Did a great job of closing the door. Hunter Manis came in for an inning of relief, faced 5 batters, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned. Had a wild pitch. There's a ground ball. This could be 2. Shortstop to second, over to first, off the base. They said he tagged him, though, so in time for the double play. Good turn right there as Drew Dodds did a decent job of going up, getting the ball, and then tagging the base runner, Zach Chavers, as he passed.
Yeah, good job getting that and turning it quickly. I think also another thing, that heat had a lot to do with that one there. I don't think you really saw the guy hustling down the line. Well, actually, you saw the heat hustle up Booneville and slow down Pontotoc in that situation.
Certainly did. Now 2 down in the inning. Daniel Tunnel, the batter. Cristo got a huge play from his defense, probably to get him out of a jam, as he was actually behind the batter, Zach Chavers, 2-0. Located a fastball. Chavers unable to catch up to it, and then came back with a nice pitch that allowed Chavers to bounce into the 6-4-3 double play. Swung on, lifted into shallow right field. This one's going to get down for base hit, and how big is that double play now?
Extremely huge now. Like the right fielder might have had a play on it if he would have caught another gear that time.
Yeah, he just like, oh, it's coming to me.
Decided to check up on it.
Now you're starting to get into the heavy hitters for this Pontotoc Red Sox team. David Bowen, the cleanup batter. 2 for 4 in this ball game, 2 singles, both in the first and second inning. Scored a couple runs, grounded out to the second baseman back in the 3rd, and then grounded in the fielder's choice back in the 5th. Runner on first base is Daniel Tunnel. 2 down in the inning. Bowen, the first pitch he sees is a nice breaking ball, swung on and missed. 0-1 the count from Cristo.
Wouldn't mind.
That broke off pretty good.
So they had a good break to it, but you wouldn't mind seeing David park one out in the flag or somewhere out there and left. Not that we're pulling for any certain teams, but folks, it's hot.
Well, we should recognize that 2 more runs put this in a different league.
Well, there was left, just not deep enough.
Not deep enough.
The 0-1 pitch is hit to the left fielder. Really only has to take 2 steps back. 3 down in the inning, as now we will head to the bottom part of the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch time. I don't know if there's way too many people here who want to stretch because we're probably stuck to our seats. 11-3 is your score. The Pontotoc Red Sox unable to muster anything on the base pass here in the top of the 7th. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th, and Lee Payne is trotting back out on the mound. And Steve, talk a little bit about his performance today. He's really been mixing up that curveball. Both of those different curveballs, those off-speed pitches, have been very effective. Also, his catcher Ricky Ware coming back out. We weren't too sure if we'd see that, but maybe Senator Browning electing to say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and go with these 2 guys. If they can't make it through the inning, we'll make the change. It's getting too hot out there, but you know what, he's playing for tomorrow right now.
Yeah, and he's had such a good tempo the whole game, and they worked well together, and he's maintained a good variety of the pitches, whether it's his fastball and then coming in with the couple off-speed or curve pitch that he's thrown. And he's really handled, once again, the heat well. I mean, he's had some long breaks early, but without too many changes, he's maintained what, like Adam said, a rhythm, like I say, tempo. And he's really hadn't tuckered himself out. Now, a couple innings ago, he had a good round of pitches. I think he got up over 20 one inning. But other than that, it's been in the teens. So he's good to go. He won't be good to go tonight. Maybe Sunday.
That's right, 110 pitches so far through 6 complete. Probably think he can last maybe part of one more, if not the whole inning. If he has a good inning in this one. He's thrown 24 pitches 3 times in 3 different innings throughout this ball game, and pitch count has been, one of those things that will factor against him later on. But then again, you look at it, he's not a fastball pitcher, so you're not really tiring your arm out. You are a breaking ball pitcher, so you can come with a little bit more off-speed stuff than normally. So you got to think he might have one more inning in the tank for him.
Yeah, you got to think.
If he gets through the 7th, he's done his job.
Yeah, you got to figure, might see 2 hard-hit baseballs and might pull the string on him.
There's a ground ball. He really would have liked to see a first pitch 1 out. out of Drew Dodds, the first baseman for the Booneville Braves. Dodds in this ball game officially 0 for 2, had a walk and also scored a run back in the first, struck out in the fifth the last time Lee Payne faced him. 0-2 the count now as this home plate umpire doing a really good job on those outside corners.
Main thing is he's being consistent with it.
Yeah. And he seemed to be getting his 2 strikes on a lot of these guys fairly quickly. Now he got a whoa, bye-bye, nope.
Left up a curveball as Drew Dodds hit it as far as he could. Good play out in right field, though.
That's the one place the ball doesn't travel here is out and right.
That's right. Landon Brister just has to camp under it for the out. Hit it almost to the warning track, just not far enough. So now 3 pitches, 1 out, and he'll get set to face Will Hawkins. Really don't want to hang that last pitch to this young man.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, dang, why couldn't I have been at the plate one pitch early?
Lee Payne will get set to work on Will Hawkins, who's officially 1 for 2 in this ball game. Had a home run in the first, walked in the third, grounded out to the third baseman back in the fifth. First pitch stays high and away for ball 1. He'll be followed by Sawyer Wheatley, who's had a tough day at the plate. A couple tough days at the plate, actually. He's officially 0 for 3 this afternoon. Went 0 for 4, I believe, yesterday with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, Wheatley has been basically invisible in this tournament. He's had a no-show. That's the reason why I say, you just feel like he's a hard hit or a base hit away from finding his rhythm here.
This one could be a nice enough rhythm, but driven to the deepest part of the ballpark, 340 some odd feet to dead center field. Hunter Mize had a beat on it, so now starting to see
I think you start to see some tired players finishing out this game.
Yeah, and Lee may be getting a little nervous after both of these balls are being hard hit, but Will Hawkins retired on the fly ball to center field. So now 6 pitches, 2 outs. You got to like to see that, especially after him throwing already 110 pitches. Now he'll get set to face Sawyer Wheatley. First pitch swing fouled off. Excuse me, this is a pinch hitter. I think it's going to be
Saw this kid last night,
Justin Smith. Yeah, that's right. He came in to pinch hit.
Who did we not see last night?
We saw Noah
Yeah,
in the later stages of the ball game.
came in and paired him up again. This is actually going to drop unless Mize can make an impressive play. Ooh,
This is going to get past him. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Smith rounds third base. He's looking second base. He's looking for a triple. He's going to be in there safely.
good throw in that time. Mize was trying to make the heroic effort to end the inning. Almost got to it. Once again, guys, one of those darned if you do, darned if you don't situations there.
Certainly is, and a nice piece of hitting by Justin Smith. Now the batter will be Heath Connor, the new catcher for the Booneville Braves.
Well, got a guy in scoring position. We're seeing a lot of damage done with 2 out rallies.
Yeah,
They got a long way to go, though.
the 2-strike hitting ability from a lot of these hitters has certainly impressed me as well. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Booneville Braves. 11-3 your score. Braves looking to get back on top. Swung on and missed to be a fastball out of Lee Payne.
Connor's got some wind blowing out to left. And the chop he took at that one, it would have traveled.
That one right over the heart of the plate. 0-2. I don't think Connor was expecting that one to be right down the center. The 0-2 coming from Lee Payne. Curveball once again, and Heath Connor able to foul that one off.
Tell you what, the flag's blowing pretty good out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
The place to be might be on that hill. If the way the wind's blowing out there.
Because we're not feeling anything. Or not much.
0-2 coming from Lee Payne. There's a curveball again. That one ripped into left field. That will score the runner from third base, and that's a nice piece of hitting by the pinch hitter Justin Smith, called on to hit in the place of Sawyer Wheatley as he smacked a triple to right center field after it got past the center fielder Hunter Mize after a diving effort. And now you see Heath Connor, the new catcher for the Booneville Braves, come in, rip a single into left field, and score the run from third base. 11-4 your score now as Chris Gullick, the designated hitter, steps to the plate. This one
Swing for
popped
the first
foul.
one. This one get out of play. Barely out of play. Saw that nice effort last night. The kid made the jump over there over the wall in foul territory next to third to get the out. As the wind continuing to whip in the outfield, pretty much blowing straight away out and left. And you know it's got to be a pretty substantial wind to get that flag a-flapping.
It's a huge flag.
Swung on and fouled off of the plate. Chris Gullick, certainly one of these guys who can get the ball up into that jet stream here at the Hollow.
He had a pretty impressive jack the first night.
Surely did. 3-run home run for the Booneville Braves.
Proved to be a big one. It was a 3-run ball game as well.
The 0-2 coming, curveball. Gullick can't catch up to it. Runner heading to first base. Actually, the throw was off by Ricky Ware. In a situation like that, you have 2 outs. The runner was already going to second base, so
I think he just took too much time to get the ball down.
certainly did. A little bit too far inside, and nice job by Chris Gullick to beat that one out to first.
Hey, it's those type of efforts that get you back in the ball game.
Yeah. Gotta watch out.
You know, a home run here, that's pushes 11-7.
Pitch stays high for ball 1. Justin Jordan. Situations like this, you would have really liked to see a 3 up, 3 down for Lee Payne. Now you've had a couple guys reach base. Also had a triple and 1-run score. Got to think that this is going to be Lee's last inning. He's thrown quite a few many pitches.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of hard to do something with him right now, even if he's tired, because you get 2 outs. As a coach, you know, it's kind of hard to pull somebody with just 2 outs and bring somebody on just for 1.
Well, especially with a 7-run lead. This one slapped into center field.
Him.
It's going to be down for a single. I got to agree with the call right there to hold up, especially after you've had a lot of base hits. I'm sure Steve will say, you know, you got to be aggressive on the base paths. I agree with that to some extent. You're down by 7 runs in a ball game.
I don't think it was deep enough to really spun him around the base.
No, that other inning, I would have seen it.
Yeah.
So now the bases are loaded for Clint Hodges, who's 0 for 3, grounded out to the first baseman in the second, struck out in the fourth, also hit by a pitch back in the sixth.
And here comes Coach Browning across the way. He's taking his time out to the mound, so this will probably be it for Lee, as it looks like we'll have Matt Shaw coming in here in relief.
I think we're going to take a break, as I do believe we will have a pitching change. Your score 11-4 here in the the bottom of the 7th inning. The Booneville Braves with runners on base. Welcome back to action. Lee Payne still in the ball game. The bases are loaded for Clint Hodges. This one ripped right center field. Getting back up to the wall. That one's gone. A grand slam by Clint Hodges of the Booneville Braves. Guys, this game is well within reach now. 11-8.
I didn't think that one was going to get out there for a second. I saw the right fielder sort of lose his footing. I thought it might have got down for at least a double that time, but once again, the ball carrying, you look at the way the flag's blowing, it's kind of blowing that way, so it helped him out. So that right there is going to close the book on Payne. And they just went out. We thought they were going to make the change then, so maybe 1 pitch too late.
Yeah, it's a situation where you always love to kick yourself. If you're a coach or a manager, no matter what level, the first pitch your pitcher throws after you get back to the dugout, you're not even done walking back to the dugout, and it's demolished about 340 feet to right center field. You hate to see that. Same token, you had to stick with your gut feeling. And 11-8 is your score, as scoreboard reads 11-7. They
hadn't tacked on that additional run from earlier in the inning.
Make sure we'll go ahead and have that right. They will bring on Matt Shaw from the bullpen, and Matt Shaw, another Oxford guy. We've seen quite a bit of him. Pretty good third baseman, also a pretty good quarterback for the Oxford High School Chargers. Coming on, asked to relieve Lee Payne here in the bottom of the 7th, and he'll probably be asked to go the distance from here on out. Not only get the final out here in the bottom of the 7th, but also get 6 more outs.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good location. He's got a breaking ball. Don't break as much as Payne breaking ball, but I don't know very many people that have a breaking ball that breaks that nasty. But you know, he's one of those that he's going to bring in. He's going to probably up it up a few more miles per hour. So it'll be a different look here and see how well that this Booneville team reacts. We saw him already one time this season come back from a 7-run deficit to beat Pontotoc. Hey, it's not impossible.
So Lee Payne last 6 2/3. There's quite a few mini pitches. 128 pitches for Lee Payne, especially. You gotta tip your hat to him. Searing heat like this, he throws almost 130 pitches. To tell you the truth, guys, I mean, you're still you still feel pretty safe with a lead like this.
Yeah.
11-8 score. You've got 7 more outs. You've also got a relief pitcher who certainly an intimidating figure out there on the mound. We'll see what Matt Shaw comes with. First pitch swinging by Brett Grantham. Can't come up with it. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, it's pretty much what they're going to see here. I mean, they still got a solid defense behind them here. Just going to load it up and blow it by them and say, all right, you hit it good.
You got to tip your hats to the Booneville Braves. Bottom of the 6th inning, they plated 1. Bottom of the 7th, they've plated 5, and they're still hitting. This one fouled off into the parking lot. So 6 runs over the past 2 innings. Without those 6 runs, it's 11-2 your score. They've certainly done a good job coming back and making this a ball game once again.
Yeah, I mean, it's a testament in itself for this Booneville team. You know, 3 innings ago, we were talking about the 10-run rule.
Yep.
You know, and now we're looking at, hey, 2 more innings from now. Who knows what the final score of this thing's going to be?
Swung on, lifted, right field. Brister going back, settles under it for the out. So the side is retired in the bottom of the 7th. Your score 11-8 after a grand slam by Clint Hodges. What a huge piece of hitting by Clint Hodges, especially first pitch. You saw Senator Browning come out and talk with Lee Payne, especially after a single by Justin Jordan. We were saying, you know what, probably just says settle him down just a little bit. First pitch he sees, Clint Hodges deposits one into right center field.
Yeah, that was a big one there, guys. I mean, if, ands, or buts about it. We talked about that big play earlier, Steve, of needing a shot in the arm for this Booneville team. That could do it there. You come out here, get some pitches going, and who knows, 3 up, 3 down, and hey, they're back in here and they're looking to win this thing. Yeah.
The thing is, I don't fault leaving him in for that extra pitch. I mean, you're sitting there with 2 outs. To pop up on this last play is what you were looking for before the grand slam. I know he gave it up, but that's the way it goes. And they had a huge lead. So stick with the guy that got you there, gave him one more pitch. He probably asked him, he said, can you get this out? He said, yeah, coach, I can get this out. Well, you don't. You get pulled, they get the out, and they're out of it. Because we're going in, at the top of the 8th here, 11-8. Which is, what we've seen from the first few games here, that's in range now. So
yeah. Hey, so far the tournament, we talked about it earlier, probably about a couple of hours ago. The theme of this tournament has been the come from behind wins. And so far this one is setting up to keep face here. But if you're Pontotoc, you want to come out here and get some runs of your own.
Certainly, as Lee Payne, once again, 128 pitches, 6 2/3 innings, faces 35 batters, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, gives up 9 hits, 8 runs. I believe 5 of those were earned. I'm not really I'm not saying anything about the official scoring. I'm not too sure where we got 4 errors on the afternoon. I think we've really only had 1. But we'll discuss that at a later date. Just the same, Lee Payne coming on a lot of pitches, and talk about this guy right here. Drew Christo has come on in relief and closed the door, especially in that last inning. Swung on and missed. Jake Mills. The batter for the Pontotoc Red Sox is he's officially 0 for 4, hit by a pitch in the first, later scored in the inning, struck out in the second. This one lifted into shallow left center field. This will drop for a base hit. So Jake Mills on with a leadoff hit, taking a big turnaround first base. Thought about taking the extra base. Good heads-up base running.
Yeah, a little confusion in the outfield that time on who was going to get the ball. Could have turned out to be a ugly opportunity there for Booneville, but they got it in quickly. She said taking a healthy turn there.
Yeah, I thought he was going to second myself.
Now Cody Roberts will step to the plate. 3 for 4 in this game. 2 singles, a double, 2 runs scored, an RBI. Also reached on an error. Cody Roberts has gotten it done with the bat this afternoon. Squares for the bunt. It's a nice one. They're going to second base. Nobody's there to cover. This one goes to center field. They're going to have a play at third base. Throw comes in. He's safe at third. Nice heads-up base running right there.
Well, Connor is irate, and rightfully so. The shortstop stepped away from it, and the second baseman dodged it, as he thought the shortstop was going to make the play on it that time. Thought they might have got a gift by getting him out over at third. Sanderson's going to come out and appeal.
He was I mean, it was.
I thought they had him.
They had him.
And you saw Will Hawkins coming across the way, and he actually came past the pitcher's mound to get Coach Sanderson to come out and appeal that one.
Well, I don't understand. I mean, if Hawkins has the ball and you rolling over Hawkins to get to the bag, you're out. Unless he had dropped it or something.
Yeah, knowing Will, I've known him both on the field and off the field. He's not going to be one of the kids that, is going to go, if he thought he had him out, if it's questionable, he's going to be like, hey, I think I got him. But if he knows he got him out, he's going to make that type of situation where he's going to come out of his way to say, hey, Coach, I know I got this guy out.
Now that'll bring up Ricky Ware. And tell you what, guys, this game, the hits keep on coming. We said this would be a pitcher's duel early on, and it's turned into anything but. 11-8 your score after a Clint Hodges grand slam in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's put the Booneville Braves back within striking distance. However, Pontotoc Red Sox have something brewing on the base pass. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Ricky Ware at the plate. He's already homered once in this game. Curveball stays just low. Nice frame job right there by Heath Connor.
Brandon Speck of the Monroe County Journal just checking in with us, seeing how things are going. He's covering the Lady Seminole slow pitch softball tournament as the Activities Association opening day of slow pitch high school softball.
This one skips away from the catcher Heath Connor, and runner not going to try to score from third base. However, the runner from first does move up 90 feet. Cody Roberts, good heads-up base running.
And just for note at home, this will mark the last year that, I kind of see slow pitch fading out here, but fast pitch will be moving into this part of the year next year with softball. So with the powers that be looking to make cuts with the rising fuel costs, don't be surprised you don't see in the next 2 years slow pitch softball fade out in the high school ranks.
Christo's pitch, there's a curveball ripped into left field, and Ricky Ware, the hits keep on coming for him. That is his 4th hit on the afternoon, 3 singles and a home run. And tell you what, Adam, he's making his case to be on that all-tournament team.
Absolutely, it's been fun watching him develop as a baseball player over the past 4 years out of Houston. Another one of those just good kids you get a chance to meet, off the field, good parents. And, as you said, the hits just keep coming here for Ricky.
There's a big RBI there because that put that up at 4-run lead. That means do the math.
Yeah, anything big, at least tie it.
Yeah.
But hey, Pontotoc's not done yet. No outs so far in the inning.
Now Brock Foster steps to the plate. Officially 0 for 3 on the afternoon. This one stays low, maybe? Guess so. 1-0 the count.
You stayed low.
Foster would be followed by Landon Brister, who's also had a tough day at the plate. 0 for 3. Pontotoc looking for some insurance runs here in the top of the 8th. This one drilled to dead center field. Center fielder back on his horse. Settles under it for the out.
Deep enough to score and run.
Cody Roberts will score easily from third base, and your score is 13-8.
Well, a big answer here by Pontotoc in the top of this part of the inning. Booneville had grabbed Lady Mo, and they was dancing with them. And so a good job coming up, plating 2 runs here and getting a little bit more breathing room heading into the bottom half of the inning.
Yeah, it certainly speaks dividends for your offense if you're able to come back out, face a very good relief pitcher in Drew Christo, start putting the bat on the ball and get something going on the base paths. Ricky Ware stands at first base as Landon Brister steps in. First pitch stays inside, 1-0.
I believe our next game is going to be Amory and Hub City.
I think that is correct.
The way the tournament's been shifted around so much, we don't know our elbow from other parts on what the bracket's going to look like from one day to the next.
This one over for strike one, 1-1 the count, as that will be an elimination game. And you would think that Hattiesburg would hold the better seed in that one, since they should have only lost yesterday. However, they came back today, and a lot like these Booneville Braves, they had to play in 5 outs. And like Steve said earlier, they had to get up for that game, and then they had to cool down, and now they're going to have to come up, play for another one.
One good thing about Hub City, they got their hotel rooms here in Pontotoc, so they could have went back. They pretty much probably spent the rest of their day in the rooms, not having to drive back anywhere. This is going to be trouble here.
This one lifted to shallow center field. It will get down for a single. Nice job by Brister to break out of his little slump at the plate. That'll bring up the leadoff batter, Hunter Mize.
Yeah, to continue my thought on that, Booneville was not far away, but not close enough to justify driving home. So they've just been hanging out here.
Hunter Mize on the afternoon had a single his last time up in the 7th inning. Officially now 1 for 4. Scored a couple runs as well. Been a great table setter for the Pontotoc Red Sox, and also one of the best leadoff hitters we've seen in a long time. One stays low for ball 1.
Absolutely. We talked about his patience at the plate. He's done a good job. He gets pitches and lets his teammates see what they should expect in front of him. So he's been a large part of the success here. Of course, normally sometimes falls back to that number 2 slot when Lige Mitchell is in the lineup. But I tell you what, with Lige and Hunter having your option to be the leadoff man, I don't mind having that problem with picking who I want to be my leadoff.
No, absolutely not. And when you have the opportunity to put 2 speedy guys and guys who have very high on-base percentages at the top of your order, you can really afford to do a lot as far as small ball, stealing bases, the hit and run. The 1-1 coming, that one stays away, 2-1 the count.
So it's 13-8 right now, 1 out here. Pontotoc, we talked about it, looking to get some insurance runs here. They've done it. So we're starting to get in the winding areas of this. You got to think that big 5-run inning sort of took a lot out of Booneville. They got them back in the ball game, but at the same time, when you get 2 runs put back on the board, if you're Pontotoc, it's one of those things where you're just like, all right, that's all we got.
Mm-hmm. But what Booneville needed was 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And get right back up there.
Especially in a 3-run ball game. You've got 2 more innings to get 3 runs, and that's certainly very, very doable. The 3-1 coming from Drew Christo. There's a ground ball right back up the middle. Shortstop makes a play on it. Gets 1, gets 2. Nice double play. The unassisted
nice
6-3 as the Booneville Braves do surrender 2 in the inning. However, they get out of a jam with runners at first and second base. Guys, what a great job by that Booneville defense. But like you said, the damage has already been done.
Yep.
Absolutely. Good job by Pontotoc. As we talked about doing a good job getting the double play to get out of the inning. Good job by Pontotoc there, just to sort of knock the wind back out of the sails of Booneville by plating those runs in this game here. So, it's one of those things where they're slugging it out here, kind of like we saw with Booneville in that first game against Hub City. They got out to that quick start, and then Hub City sort of just matched them step for step, but unfortunately couldn't make any ground as they was running uphill trying to catch up in that contest.
Yeah, that game was absolutely a slugfest, especially after the rain delays, because both pitchers really seemed exhausted. Now you really have a depleted pitching staff for the Booneville Braves, and this Pontotoc Red Sox team, when you think about it, they've only used 2 pitchers, and they've only played in 1 game. If they're able to hold on to this lead, you got to like their chances in this tournament. On the other side of things, if you get these Booneville Braves and they start swinging the bats again, they put another 4 to 5 spot on the board here in the bottom of the 8th. Who knows what could happen?
So there'll be a whole lot of new life in this contest.
We know for a fact that they have the firepower in this order to put together a big spot on that scoreboard, as they did earlier in this ballgame. Will Hawkins has already hit a home run, as has Clint Hodges, the grand slam in the last inning.
Let's give hats off to Ricky Ware. I would already expect him to come out of this contest. He's going the distance behind the plate here.
Tell you what, I hope I know they've been drinking and staying hydrated, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's some punishing work back there.
Yeah. Well, you know, Ryan, I told you 2 years ago he was going to be a kid to watch in baseball, and you know, scouts out here watching him are going to look up and say, "Dang, this kid, you know, out here in probably 117, you know, heat index out here with us." You know, still making the plays, still being active behind the plate. That's another thing that a lot, you know, you see some catchers, they pretty much stay still when they're behind the plate, especially on hot days like this. But Ricky, he's an active guy. He moves around a lot behind the plate whenever he's catching.
Well, he's certainly got plenty of room to fill out as well. I mean, you look at the guy, he's got huge arms. He's got the arm strength as well. He's got the power in the bat. We've already seen him hit 1 home run. I'll tell you what, this guy can certainly do some things, and he's a big power hitting catcher, but we've already seen him go 4 for 5 in the afternoon. He can also hit the ball through the 6-hole, and we've seen him take some cuts and look at going the opposite field with some pitches. So certainly a lot of talent with Ricky Ware, and love to see where he goes.
I can't remember if he's already signed or what he's done.
Great breaking pitch out of Matt Shaw for Neil Tice. Count now 0-2 on Neil Tice.
For some reason I want to say Delta's tape. That don't sound right.
One stays away. I believe the count is now 2-2.
You know, we were talking about the tempo and everything. Pontotoc could really come out here and go 1, 2, 3 also. Help the cause, so to speak.
Nice play at first.
Beautiful play right there by Jake Mills as he ranges to his right. Saves Matt Shaw with a I don't know, it's probably going to be down for extra bases. Neil Tice has shown us the speed. That'll bring up Drew Dodds.
Yeah, well, you look at Pontotoc, they still got Zane Treadaway, Jordan Moore, technically Ricky Ware. So, I mean, they still got 3 good arms waiting to go in this tournament by day, you know. And then you've got Payne that'll be back up, ready to go. And depending the pitch count that Matt Shaw sees in this game, you know, he could possibly be, you know, available in some relief duty.
Yeah, so far he's only thrown 9 pitches. You think if he can get 5 more outs with less than 20 pitches or so, he'll be ready to go easily by tomorrow night. 2-0 the count as he falls behind Drew Dodds. This one comes back inside. 3-0 the count now, and Drew Dodds has worked the count to 3-0. Got to be thinking he'll be red light all the way here. Dodds in this ball game 0 for 3, walked in the first, grounded out in the third, struck out in the 5th, flew out in the 6th, and draws a walk here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And here comes trouble.
Now batting number 16.
You know, we talk about Will. Hey, rightfully so. You know, we've seen him smash some home runs in this contest. You know, he's also a player that he's struggled in the first game a little bit over there at third, but he's played pretty solid defensively today at third, making some plays across the way. But you know, a base hit here, a base hit there. You know, if he can get on, then Wheatley can, you know, break out of his slump. You know, who knows what we could see here over the next couple of innings unfold.
Well, Hawkins certainly has gotten some of the most unlucky hops over at third base these past couple days, but he has blocked the ball very well. He's gotten his body in front of him. He might not have thrown out every single runner that's hit the ball to him, but he's done a great job sacrificing his body and getting his body in front of the ball.
Yeah, and Steve, I think the umpire's cooled off some because the strike zone is not where it has been.
This could be 2, 6 to 4 to 3.
Sorry, Will.
Double play by the Pontotoc Red Sox, and Matthew Shaw gets out of the inning. As we will now head to the top of the 9th inning. 13-8 your score. Pontotoc Red Sox still on top of the Booneville Braves.
Zach Shaver.
Top of the 9th inning we go. 13-8 your score as the 2-3-4 hitters for the Pontotoc Red Sox come to the dish. Getting set to face Drew Christo. He's been there now for about 3 innings. Zach Chavers welcomes him with a leadoff double. It looks like actually just going to hold him to a single. Great job by that left fielder to get the ball in very quickly, but Zach Chavers really slapped that one to left field.
Yeah, the ball took a favorable bounce off the fence that time. He'd come up and was able to barehand it and sort of caught it in his already throwing motion, so he's able to zip it in and cut that down to a single. Any other time, that would have been a double.
Well, Zach Chavers now 1 for 4, 2 for 5, 2 for 6 in this ball game. Not a bad day, especially after his double back in the 2nd inning. Went the other way with the ball, took it to right center field, came up with a double. Great piece of hitting. Now we got Daniel Tunnel at the plate. One stays away for ball 1. Tunnel in this ball game. He's 3 for 4. Kind of been one of those quiet guys at the plate. He's been on base quite a bit, though, as he also walked back in the first inning. Swung on. There's a ground ball through the 6-hole. That'll get through. So, 4 hits in the ball game now for Daniel Tunnel, as well as Ricky Ware. So a couple of Red Sox players putting together some 4-hit ball games.
And once again, number 42's got a couple men on base for him.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about Daniel, you know, he's a quiet player, but he puts together a good baseball game. He's also a pitcher. He'll probably be the starter for their next game. He played well. He has pitched. I think he was a starting pitcher in the NIMCAB All-Star games, and we have another change coming up here for Booneville. So now you're starting to see Coach, you know, play around saving some arms here for tomorrow.
Yeah, Drew Dodds, who pitched in yesterday's game, will come on in relief of Drew Christo, as Christo went, 2 complete innings, 2 and a little bit. Drew Dodds will come in. Dodds against the Hattiesburg Bombers lasted 1 1/3, faced 10 batters, had 1 strikeout, walked 2, gave up 3 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. He pitched in yesterday's ball game.
Guys, is it just me, or does it feel like this ball game is lasting longer than any other ones?
I feel like I've been out here for a while.
Of course, we've had some pretty long innings with the 6th spot put on the board in the 2nd and 5 in the bottom of the 7th. So these two teams have had their fair shares of runs, fair shares of hits. 13-8 is your score right now, as we're in the top of the 9th inning. So Booneville's trying to get them to go away quietly here and see if they can't put together a big bottom of the 9th inning to rally in this one. But I tell you what, the guy, I don't know, I shouldn't talk about anybody, Steve. You know, I've jinxed everybody so far.
I was about to say, wow.
But, you know, David Bowen's always been a player that's come up in the clutch down towards the end. He had a big, actually had a walk-off double to help Pontotoc pick up a win earlier in the season. So a big hit here with speed on the bases could really sort of go ahead and seal the deal in this one.
Bowen now in this ball game, 2 for 5. Single in the first, single in the second, grounded out to the second baseman in the third. Fielder's choice in the 5th. Also flied out to the left fielder back in the 7th. So now he'll come up with runners at first and second base, as Zach Chavers singled to lead off the inning. Daniel Tunnel also singled. That's where we are. 13-8 your score here in the top of the 9th. Nobody out after a pitching change by the Booneville Braves. Bring in the first baseman, Drew Dodds. Chris Gullick will move over to first base from somewhere. I'll figure that out eventually. Bowen shows bunt, pulls it back as the pitch stays high.
Interesting, taking the power out of the bat here.
Yeah.
We'll play a little small ball. Hey, rightfully so, you got no outs here. You never know whenever it might be the same situation here. No outs, 1-run ball game. See if you come up and squeeze a bunt out with him. Want to show the multifaceted part of Bowen's game.
Bowen has the bunt. It's a beautiful one as well.
Base hit.
Great bunt by David Bowen. That actually impresses me more than his 2 other base hits, because that shows you can drop a bunt down wherever you want to. Great piece of hitting right there by David Bowen. Now the bases are loaded for Jake Mills.
And I tell you, once again, it showcases his speed that he has. A lot of people don't think he is that quick, but he has got extremely good speed here. Bases juice, no outs, not where Booneville wants to be right now.
Now, I was just thinking that. They just...
But they have rolled up 2 double plays.
Yeah.
Middle infield playing back for the double play, and that's going to get down. Nice piece of hitting right there. Just went with the pitch, as there's going to be a play over at third base, and Hawkins, if he gets a better throw from left field, he might have a play at third just the same. Nice piece of hitting right there by Jake Mills to take that one into left field. 1 run is in. 14-8 your score. Still the bases loaded. Nobody out. Cody Roberts up to the dish.
This is a guy right here who can really squeeze out an easy hit. He's had a nice day today. Once again, we talked about his senior season at Pontotoc, an impressive season, earning him all area honors, first team by W07BN. If you want to see that team, you can visit my website, goresports.wordpress.com. And wow, he swung out of his shoes on that one, folks.
He certainly did, but Cody Roberts has been on base all 5 times. He's been up to the plate this afternoon. Single in the first, double in the second, reached on an error in the 4th, singled in the 6th, and also reached on a bunt back in the 8th. Drew Dodds ahead of him 0-1. Here's the pitch. That one stays away. 1-1 the count. He'll be followed by another young man who's had a really good day at the plate, Ricky Ware.
Yeah. Ricky's done a great job today. We did talk to the coaches behind this.
Oh, man.
Swung on,
That could be
lifted.
gone.
If it's fair.
If it stays fair, it's gone.
Oh, he made the play. He made the play, folks.
Beautiful play down the line. The
He
runners
caught it.
do tag, but I'll tell you what, beautiful play out in left field as he had to slide up against that.
He crashed into the fence.
It's actually
Good hustle.
Sawyer Wheatley out in left field.
Hey, he made up for, we talked about, a play here, play there that
Yeah.
could break him open. That one might have broke him in half as he's stretching out there in the field, but hey, hats off to Wheatley. Defensive play of the tournament so far.
Yeah, the run does score 15-8 as the runners move up one base, but Sawyer Wheatley flashing the leather out in left field. Now you get set to face Ricky Ware. Swung on, and he was looking to park that one.
Number 15, Ricky Ware.
Yeah. Really, there's not much more Ricky can do on the day, folks. He's already turned in an impressive day at the plate, impressive day behind the plate. Pretty much all he'd probably like to do is find a cool spot to sit down.
Can't catch up to that one as it's outside. 0-2 the count now on Ricky Ware. Be followed by Brock Foster, barring a double play. Your score 15-8 in favor of the Pontotoc Red Sox. Top of the 9th inning. Red Sox really been rolling along. Kind of might have fallen asleep during the 3rd and 4th innings, but since that time they've awoken with a start. This one stays away. 2-0 the count. Excuse me, should be 1-2 the count now. Runner at second, runner at third for Ricky Ware with less than 2 outs. RBI opportunity. This one gets away from the catcher. The runner at third is coming home. He will score easily as David Bowen scores the 16th run of the ballgame for the Pontotoc Red Sox and increases this to an 8-run lead.
Way to move, Davo!
Once again, showcasing the speed down the line. Connor really had a little trouble getting out of the stance to find the ball. I think now guys are starting to see this contest be where they're just like, all right, let's get this thing over with.
Yeah, Ricky Ware seems like he wants to step in and still wants to hit a little bit. 2-2 the count. That one stays away. Full count now to Ricky Ware. Not the situation you want to be in to him, as he's going to be looking for a pitch to plant.
Yeah, he might hurt himself swinging at this one, folks. Stay tuned.
Full count delivery coming from Drew Dodds. Swung on, lifted into right center field. This one is gone. Holla. As Ricky Ware gets the pitch he can hit on a full count delivery and quickly makes this one.
I tell you what, those going out to right field just have been deceiving for me today. This is gone.
That's second of the day for Rick.
Move it, Ricky.
Makes this ball game 18-8.
I know there's a coach sitting behind us that's liking the performance he's seeing out of his future player. Pontotoc actually has a pair of Delta State signees. You got Jordan Moore also. Haven't seen any action in this game, but he's been playing first for most of this tournament. Really surprised he hasn't played any shortstop for Pontotoc. He
Now back to Pontotoc.
he played an entire season last year, only one era, and it was in the next to last game of the year, whenever he sort of forced to play.
We'll have to go back later and tally up the runs. They've got 16-8 on the scoreboard. I think they've lost 2 runs from the home team.
Yeah.
And now the batter is Brock Foster as he looks at the first pitch low in the dirt for ball 1. That one stays low in the dirt as well. 2-0 the count. Score is in fact 18-8. Scoreboard shows 16-8. So Pontotoc Red Sox finally eclipsing that 10-run lead.
It's a little too late for us.
Just a tad. Comes here in the top of the 9th inning with 1 down. That one over for strike one. 1-2 the count. Excuse me, 2-1 the count. Landon Brister would follow Brock Foster. Booneville Braves not really able to catch any breaks. Aside from that big hit by Clint Hodges, the grand slam that went to right center field, that's really accounted for 4 runs. Take that away, you're looking at a 16-4 ball game, and actually an 18-4 ball game.
You know, both these teams are going to be really pooped out.
Yeah, they're going to probably head straight home and get some rest.
This one lifted into left field. Left fielder going back, looking up at the wall. That one's gone as well. Home run by Brock Foster.
Starting to have flashbacks of that game 2 of the championship series here a couple of years ago.
Adam, I told you once before I don't want to talk about it.
He before he stepped to the plate, he kind of called his shot. He was pointing towards the flag, and he sort of looked at the pitcher and sort of gave him. They shared a laugh between each other, so he was almost on spot. Almost hit somebody running around the football field too.
Yeah, this is a situation where if you're a pitcher, you just kind of tip your hat to these hitters. This is not your day. Drew Dodds put in his work yesterday for the Booneville Braves, so you really can't fault him for a lot of this that has happened.
And we'll have another pitching change come up here. Once again, probably just trying to save some pitches and save some arms for another day. This will be pitcher number 6 on the day.
Clint Hodges will come from center field, and I believe he's asking for a new glove. He will probably be your new pitcher of record. Yes, this is pitcher number 6, and they're going to take a quick break while they make the change. Your score 19-8, 19-8. Pontotoc Red Sox on top of the Booneville Braves in the top of the 9th inning. Nice. Welcome back to action. Top of the 9th inning, as Pontotoc has plated 6 runs. Here in the top of the 9th, there's still only 1 down, as Landon Brister will come to the dish. Getting set to face a new pitcher, Clint Hodges came on from center field. Hodges has had some magic with the bat, hit a grand slam back in the bottom of the 7th.
As expected, guys, we've seen a lot of home runs in this tournament.
That one over for strike one. 1-1 the count from Clint Hodges to Landon Brister. Brister has really jumped out of this slump. It came back in the 8th inning, had a single to center field. Looking for something here in the top of the 9th.
He and his brother will be a key to that Houston team next year to give South Pontotoc it'll be between, in my opinion, not counting out Nelson, Amory, or anybody else in that region, but I just feel like with all the returning talent, right now it's South Pontotoc and Houston to do battle for that region. If not, a chance to represent the North.
Swung on and missed by Landon Brister. 2-2 the count from Clint Hodges. Brister will be followed by Hunter Mize, who stands on deck. Clint Hodges, the 3rd pitcher of the inning used by the Booneville Braves, also the 6th pitcher used by the Booneville Braves in this game. The 2-2 coming, fastball stays away. Full count now to Landon Brister.
I think he's got some pretty good pop on his fastball.
He sure does. Once again, I think he's one of those kind of guys that, I mean, they're bringing him out of center field, but after an inning or two, he could settle down and start hitting some corners.
The 2-2 low and away for ball 4. Brister walks on the full count delivery. So now that will put a runner on first for Hunter Mize.
Ryan, it'd make you feel better they did put your 2 runs on the scoreboard now.
It's about time.
Now batting number 2.
And was this the 7th time that Hunter Mize has come to the plate today?
I believe so, yes. This is the 7th time.
I just made a sarcastic guess.
No, you were dead on right there.
See, I'm paying attention.
19-8 ball game, and Hunter Mize has come to the dish 7 times. That went in there for strike 1. Hunter Mize will be followed by Zach Chavers, who led off this inning about 2.5 hours ago with a single to left field. The 0-1 coming from Hodges. That one on the outside part of the plate, probably about a good 6 to 8 inches off, but good strike.
I tell you what, is
19 to 8
it
strike.
just me, or are they having real difficulty getting 2 more outs?
Yeah. Real quick, guys, once again, Booneville game. Take a break real quick. Shout out to Haley Edwards of Pontotoc. She is the self-proclaimed #1 fan of Channel 98 in Prentice County, or Channel 98 Sports, I should say. So there you go.
I enjoyed it.
Works for me.
It does. That's very good.
1-2 the count to Hunter Mize.
Scoring some brownie points.
That one fouled back to the net.
We could have baked some brownies earlier.
We've seen a wide range of influx of temperatures, so that is true. We went from extremely hot to even more hot, and it's cooled off now.
Hunter Mize spoils that one. The 2-2 delivery from Hodges. That one low in the dirt. Full count. Excuse me. I think it's 2-2 now.
You gotta think anything remotely close. He's not swinging. He's walking.
Mize is center fielder for the Pontotoc Red Sox. Had a pretty good day in the field as well. This one right back up the middle, hits the umpire, as this is going to be a dead ball. Hunter will reach first base safely, and now that'll bring up Zach Chavers.
I've always wondered what they did in that
I think
situation.
we're going to have a pinch hitter. I think this is Lathan Brister
Yes.
coming in to pinch hit for Zach Chavers.
You know, in all my years of covering baseball, it's the first time I've seen that.
Really?
Yep.
It just curved over towards him.
So he made the run and
Yeah.
kind of a hop out of the way. Stephen Chris would have leaped in a single bound, but still.
Now batting number 27, Lathan Brister.
You know, Steve, here in the PA announcer, kind of gets you the mood for football. It
Yes.
sounds just like the one out at Vardaman.
And we are ready for Bartman. In fact, Bartman
Opens up with Calhoun City
Yeah.
on the 27th. And Baldwin and Booneville open up on the 27th. The backyard brawl. So
Football season just around the corner. This one lifted in a shallow left field. Hawkins may have a play on it.
He makes the diving effort nice.
Great play by Will Hawkins. He's had a tough couple days at third base, some hot shots down there, but he gets to that one. The second out of the inning. Good play by Will Hawkins to save his pitcher.
Looked like he really couldn't ever find his stride when he was running, but he just sort of awkwardly kept after it and was able to make the diving catch. Still,
which brought us up to that second out.
Yes.
It was so hard to get.
Certainly was. And now Daniel Tunnel, who's had a 4-hit day, 4 for 5 with 4 singles, a few runs scored, couple RBIs, comes up with 2 down. Hunter Mize at first base. Landon Brister out at second. There's a ground ball foul down the third base line.
hey, one thing you got to give hats off to Boone before. They hadn't quit in this contest.
No.
Not from the opening pitch up to you saw the last play by Hawkins. So that speaks volumes for a team whenever you're looking up and you're down 19-8.
They certainly have not, and I really think that the 2 spot in the top of the 8th by Pontotoc Red Sox really pushed that away from them, even though they put a 5 spot on board in the bottom of the 7th.
I agree with you. That 2 runs in the top of the 8th, it was just a...
Yeah, they got some
and it was the
momentum.
way they got them, too. It didn't get it quick. You know, kind of get strung out. Let time go by.
Yeah, because they had grabbed momentum coming out of the bottom part of that inning, and you sort of see it whenever they got that second run or when they got that final out of the inning, they were kind of like, all right, guys, let's just get this thing over with.
1-2 pitch coming from Glenn Hodges to Daniel Tunnel. Swung on, there's a little swinging bunt back to the pitcher. He will field this cleanly and throw over to first base for the final out. The Red Sox, though, they score 6 here in the top of the 9th inning. Your score 19-8. We go to the bottom half of the 9th inning, and guys, Booneville Braves need to put something together. I think we're going to take a little break. We'll be back in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Your tripod when you leave.
Oh, okay. I thought we were on the air.
Welcome back to the action. Bottom of the 9th inning, and
We didn't get no count out from Steve-O that time.
in a 19-8 ball game, you don't get a countdown from Steven. Have to put that one.
Make
I
a
will
note.
get the tripod though, Adam.
Okay,
Thank you, Thank you for reminding me.
You're going to quick promo, and Steve Whitten is going to. Not for sure. Ron, where does Shaw sign?
I'm not actually sure. I have a feeling it's with Northeast or Northwest, but I'm
So we're thinking it's either Northeast or Northwest. Not 100% sure. Sweet. But yeah, Steve Whitten is going to film the ever world famous Watermelon Festival tomorrow. So that's the reason why I was reminded to get the tripod.
Yes.
Watermelon Festival down in Water Valley.
In the valley.
The H2O hole, as some refer to it.
Wow. Never heard it.
That's
referred
right.
to that.
That's interesting.
It's kind of.
Well, we have the.
Can we even air that?
Absolutely. Good friends in Water Valley, a great place to go. Also some great football down in Water Valley.
Nothing like some Water Valley Blue Devil football.
Blue Devils we've covered quite a bit. Also some Water Valley baseball in this baseball state championship a couple years ago. Had the opportunity to go down to Trustmark Park and cover them.
So they went down with Lafayette, right?
Certainly
Same
did.
year.
Well, we have the Big Melon contest starting at noon that we're going to be at.
Nice. Hope you see some big ones.
Yeah. I think they follow that up with the watermelon. What is it? Seed spitting and et cetera, et cetera. A lot of activities over there.
So it should be a fun day out at Water Valley for sure.
Huge breaking ball out of Matt Shaw on the 1-2. That one stays high. 2-2 count to Justin Smith. He came in for a pinch hitter as the pinch hitter for Sawyer Wheatley. Heath Connor would follow as this one skips to the backstop.
Steve Whitten won't be with us tomorrow. I believe brother Jeremy Kennedy will be arriving on the scene sometime tomorrow.
Oh, really?
I think.
That's unfortunate. The 3-2 coming from Matt Shaw. Swung on and missed as he retires Justin Smith. On the full count delivery, Heath Connor will now step in and take his hacks against Matthew Shaw. 2 outs remaining for the Pontotoc Red Sox before they can advance to the following round.
We'll have to check the start times for tomorrow and get our game plan made out before everybody leaves. I think everyone was supposed to clap along.
They got me awake.
19-8 is your score. 6 spot put on in the top of this inning. Pontotoc just looking to close the door on this one.
Fastball from Matt Shaw stays high and in tight for Heath Connor. Came in as a pinch hitter in relief of Will Wallace, who did a great job behind the plate for the Booneville Braves. There's a ground ball to the left side. This is going to be tough. Backhanded by the shortstop. Long throw over to first base, and Heath Connor beat it out.
Hey, impressive just to get it to make it that close. He hit it deep in the hole that time. Had to sort of catch it awkwardly as he took the hop and he threw it across the way. It was going to be an impressive play either way, so a good job of legging it out and not necessarily giving up on the play running down the bases.
Certainly was, and that was a good play, like you said, just to even get to it. It was really in between the third baseman and the shortstop for the Red Sox, and really one of those, if you don't take it, I'll take it. If you take it, I don't want it.
Hey, do we have a new catcher in the contest for Pontotoc? 12 is the number.
Brock Foster moves behind the plate for the Red
Say,
Sox.
if it's not, then Ricky has been behind the plate so long he's lost 200 pounds.
Well, he certainly was back there long enough for that in a very long game. A lot of offense in this one, and Ricky Ware certainly not only did his job behind the plate, but also with the bat with 2 home runs and 3 singles. 2-0 the count now to Chris Gullick, the designated hitter. 1 for 4 this afternoon with the bat. Runner going, there's a ground ball as it really eats him up at shortstop. One of those, he saw the runner coming and the runner was off on the play. It was one of those hit and run situations, and really probably just took his eye off the ball for just a split second.
Yeah, he was checking his runner in that situation. It was a hard hit ball as well. It was one of those little worm burners that came towards his feet that time and couldn't catch up with it. So break there from Booneville as they're not going away quietly into the night.
Number 11.
Now the batter will be Justin Jordan, I believe, unless we have a pinch hitter. I think we do.
Yeah, I think it is Jordan. It's Jordan. Unless they've got another Jordan on the team.
There's a fly ball to right field.
2 steps and an out.
So a quick out by Matthew Shaw on the first pitch he delivers to Justin Jordan. Now that will bring to the plate Clint Hodges. Matthew Shaw has done a good job in relief. He threw 3 pitches in relief in the 7th, 11 pitches in the 8th. Here in the 9th, he's only thrown 13 pitches. He's got 2 outs. So 27 pitches, 28 pitches, and this could be the last one of the ball game. Throw over to first base. Almost had the nice grab by Jake Mills, and a good throw by Cody Robertson. He gets it every time. However, he had to throw on the run, had to throw across his body too. So a tough play all around. Bases will be loaded for the Booneville Braves, and that will bring up Brett Grantham.
Well, once again, Booneville
Bases loaded.
just won't die. What we talked about earlier, Steve, you got to give them credit. Hey, they're not giving up, you know. You like to see this in a team that way. If it's a one-run ball game, you know you got some fight in them. And you feel good with putting this team on the field.
Yeah, I mean, it goes all the way back to that first and second inning where they just kind of got a hand on them real quick, and then it kind of lulled us and just a lot of activity at the first. Then we went, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th of like a normal ball game, kind of set in.
This one lifted down the right field line. This one's probably going to get out of play, though.
He's on
in
it.
Foul territory, almost had a play on it. It stayed in fair territory. However, stayed in the ballpark, excuse me. It was a foul ball. Laid out for it down the right field line, just unable to get to it was Landon Brister, I believe that is. So a 1-1 count now to Brett Grantham. Grantham on the afternoon, 2 for 4, hit by a pitch. Also a couple singles back in the 4th and the 6th inning. Also flew out to end the threat after a grand slam by Clint Hodges back in the bottom of the 7th. Matthew Shaw going back to work on Brett Grantham. 1-1, bases loaded here in the bottom of the 9th. This one fouled back to the net. 1-2, so Matthew Shaw only needed 1 strike now to retire the side and get rid of this Booneville Brave team, which is actually really, really pesky.
The pesky Booneville Braves. Actually, you know, Adam was talking about it, but you go back to the first inning where I thought they were very fortunate to be 3-2. And Pontotoc left 3 on. They scored 3 runs, but they left 3 on, so they kind of dodged a 6-run, you know, no telling. Then came back and scored a couple runs themselves, so I thought, here we go. You know, they dodged a bullet.
That pitch stayed inside. 2-2 the count. Shaw's delivery, this one lifted into the parking lot.
Yellow.
Ooh,
That hit something.
That hit something that was hooking
I
back.
would say that was in the vicinity of where the protege was. So, Ryan, we might be dent buddies by the time we head home.
Believe me, I'll have enough after this tournament. The 2-2 swung on and missed. Matthew Shaw retires Brett Grantham on strikes to end the threat here in the bottom of the 9th. Bases loaded jam. Matthew Shaw gets out of it. He will most certainly be allowed to pitch in the next couple of days for the Pontotoc Red Sox. And the Red Sox take their first game after a first-round bye by a final score 19-8 over the Booneville Braves. It was a long game. It was a hot game. There were a lot of home runs. There's a lot of bad action, guys, and I'll tell you what, this is certainly a good game by the Pontotoc Red Sox and certainly their offense.
Well, they certainly jumped out there on them and stayed on top of them. And Booneville, like you said, they never gave up, and they tried to do their rally there in the 7th, whatever it was, 8th and 7th inning, excuse me, and tried to put themselves back into it. Certainly did, and then Pontotoc responded. So kudos to Pontotoc.
Yeah, certainly so, as a great offensive showing. Also some good pitching performances by Lee Payne and Matthew Shaw. These Booneville Braves, they won 1 game today. They lost this one. They'll have to play an elimination game tomorrow sometime. We'll get back to you on that one. We're about to come back for another ball game. We're going to take a quick break, though. Your final score, 19-8 as the Pontotoc Red Sox knock off the Booneville Braves.